It's the rich people who really have been bringing all of the lawsuits. The people in the uptown area who brought lawsuit after lawsuit. Um, I just find it difficult to justify after all of this money spent for the southwest suburbs, Eden Prairie. We're building you a line. We got that line in the Hamlin, Midway, University Avenue corridor. Now, a texter says, look, Hamlin Midway hasn't really been helped by the light rail line. And to which I would say, I think the light rail line and Allianz Field is just the beginning. I think it's just the beginning. And are we going to see more development in that area? To me, the lack of development in that corridor has more to do with the fact that St. Paul passed a rent control ordinance that basically told developers we're not interested. We're not interested. Texter says, I'm admittedly pretty ignorant in this issue, but if the North Star ended up not panning out, why would the Blue Line end up differently? Excellent question. I think the North Star train line, commuter train, was one of the dumbest things that we've done as a community because we did it halfway. The only way that commuter line makes sense is if you go all the way to St. Cloud and we stop short. And so who wants to go from Big Lake, get on a train, and come to downtown Minneapolis? This thing was essentially a flop from day one. So it just, to me, the line coming out through North Minneapolis, up Broadway, into Brooklyn Park, you're looking at an area of town where you have a number of people who are available and interested in working, but don't have the best transportation necessarily to get to where a lot of those jobs might be, which frankly today, there's a lot more reverse commuting going on than people coming into downtown Minneapolis. So maybe you're trying to get to warehouses or light manufacturing, some of that area in the Brooklyn Park, kind of industrial park up near 610. So to me, it makes more sense. But I understand if you would have a different view. 651-461-9226. Lots of text. We'll take your calls as we continue. It's Friday, June 19th. Drive Time with DeRusha rolling on.
Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
All right, Jason here with a weekend challenge for you. If you are thinking about selling your home and putting it on the market, I would encourage you to do a quick Google search of the latest headlines about the home selling market in the Minneapolis metro area, in Western Wisconsin, because it's not good. It's not good. Putting your home up for sale right now is stressful. It just is. So many homes are sitting on the market week after week after week, taking price reductions. You've got the pressure. You've got the stress. You're asking yourself, do I need to fix stuff up? Do I need to spend more money? Shouldn't there be an easier way? There is. Chris Lindahl and the Chris Lindahl Guaranteed Cash Offer and the Big Red Check. Chris Lindahl's Guaranteed Cash Offer has been providing a quick path to selling a home for years. Chris is a Minnesotan. He's a friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. And I know that if you are looking for a stress-free way of selling your home, no better way. Find out if it makes sense for you. ChrisLindahl.com is the webpage. Get the free Smart Seller Guide. You can click on it right at the top of the page, even if you're considering selling your home in the next 6 months. See if Chris Lindahl can help get you over the finish line and get you that big red check. Get to ChrisLindahl.com today.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to Supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At Supersure.com, you can access tools like Fine Print Facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Summer is here and you need more room for your kids or grandkids and all their stuff. It's Jason DeRusha for Luther Kia of Bloomington. We're in the middle of the summer sticker sales event. 0% on all Sportages and Sorrentos. Specially marked vehicles have $750 bonus cash too. Best cars for the money on the market. It's not just me saying it. It's U.S. News and World Report. Check out their brand new facility. Luther Kia of Bloomington now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
He's known for the slow burn. He wanted to keep it organic, and I'm still begging for it. More controversy.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Talking about extending the blue line through Crystal, the light rail line through the North Metro. It's a decision that I have said before that I think we should just stop it. We should put the brakes on it. But I'm rethinking that through the prism of economic development and job opportunity and how it, to me, feels not only unfair but unwise long-term to say, you know what, we're going to have light rail go to the richer suburbs of Eden Prairie and Edina and come through South Minneapolis into the heart of the city. But for people who live in Crystal and New Hope and Brooklyn Park and North Minneapolis, too bad. Here's your bus. Now, from a transportation standpoint, there are lots of arguments in favor of the bus. But from an economic development standpoint, I think there is no question that we see much more activity around light rail train tracks. We just do. The Metropolitan Council's data, and, you know, yes, you can look at anything from Met Council and say, I don't know. But along the light rail line, since we first started them in 2009, about 70,000 new housing units have been built. We're already seeing thousands of apartment units in Hopkins, Minnetonka, Eden Prairie, St. Louis Park. It's just different. The bus line is awesome for transportation. It works out so well. But the train is different. It's just different. Now, texters are really responding to the fact that the Met Council is unelected. This is a boondoggle, says one texter, with no riders. The original price for the Blue Line extension was $750 million. Now it's ballooned to $3.6 billion. Well, have you priced like a new roof or a new kitchen remodel in your house? I mean, construction costs are way up. And for this extension, they're not even talking about starting construction until 2030. So, yeah, I mean, yes, the costs are going to go up. Part of the reason with the Southwest line that we saw the cost go up so much is because all of the lawsuits that people file. And that, you know, in this case, would this be a concern as well? Yeah. Running this line up Broadway, there are plenty of people and businesses in North Minneapolis that do not want it. It's always the case with this sort of thing, right? Texters also worried about crime. You should check crime rates in areas where there is or was a bus line. Look, you got to deal with that stuff for sure. For sure. The other part of this, I think that you have to look at is what's the cost of canning it. And I'm not a huge fan of putting good money after bad, but we've already spent hundreds of millions of dollars on the planning, the blueprints, the economic, the environmental analysis, all of that. So if you can it, yes, you save money in the yearly maintenance that you would have of a light rail line. You save money in the construction. But then you start over again on the bus line. And what economic development do you get from that? Nothing. Let's go to John in Woodbury. He is on the CCO Talk and Text line. John, thanks for calling in. I'm struggling with this a little bit because, you know, John, the price tag is so huge, and I'm not sure if the payoff would be there. But I'm also concerned about just telling the North Side that they're hosed in this deal. What do you think we should do?
Well, the whole thing is they've been fighting over this since 1991. When I lived in Golden Valley, I could have been on the committee that worked with the whole situation coming through North Minneapolis, Golden Valley, Robbinsdale, Crystal, right up through to Brooklyn Park. Like the only place it would have skipped would have been West Broadway. But if they can't get it straight then and had it all drawn up and so forth, I know people that moved out of Golden Valley because they didn't want to live next to the noisy tracks.
Right.
But
Right.
This is
I mean, it's always, it is
can't
crazy
get it
that it's
straight.
taken so long, right? And it is for sure. Like, look, the Green Line to the southwest suburbs took what, a decade longer than it was planned to go, and I'm sure this would happen as well. The Southwest, I mean, the timing for that Southwest line was atrocious, right? You had COVID,
Well,
you
the
had
blue
work from home, you had crime on the trains that took a long time to get under control. It does seem now the crime data on trains much better. It's
Well, this blue
tough.
line this blue line extension was even talked about before the Green Line extension out
Yes.
to Eden Prairie, and they
I
just
feel like
they
we've been
can't get
talking about it
things
since
straight.
since I moved here in 2003. When I was living, we moved to Maple Grove, and the thought of like, oh, it'd be pretty cool to have a light rail line coming up into our area that you could take it downtown. But the world has changed now, and there certainly you see a lot less commuting into downtown. So trying to see, does this make sense or not? I don't know. It's a tough one.
And it would
is a tough.
have been a lot cheaper to do it 91 through 99, let's say.
Well, what do you do about
than
it
it's
now,
gonna be now.
John, when you had the federal government ready to kick in about $900 million of the cost, almost $1 billion? You've already sunk about $300 million in sort of the early work, that the architecture, all of that stuff, the environmental analysis. What do you do at this point now that we've, the train has started rolling, so to speak? What would you do?
Well, I don't live in Golden Valley anymore. I live in Woodbury, and they just built a bus line from Woodbury to downtown St. Paul that has 2 to 4 people a ride all the way. That's a waste of money too, but that's another whole story.
Fair. Thanks,
I don't
John. James
understand.
is in Minneapolis at 651-461-9226. James, what do you think should be done?
Well, first of all, I've been following this for quite a while. I don't know. I'm assuming you've never gone to a meeting regarding the Blue Line extension.
No. Well,
Okay.
I've covered some of it back when I was in TV, but yeah, it's been a long time.
Right. And I've gone to the meetings in Crystal and Robbinsdale, etc. And initially I was told by these people who are, I'll use the word marketing the idea, that there were going to be 20,000 people a day riding the Blue Line from Brooklyn Park to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And I doubted that. And I'd go to the subsequent meetings, and then the number would gradually go down.
Yeah,
and let me
there's
say,
no way that's going to be the number today, right? Looking at how much work has changed and everything, absolutely.
Exactly. And it wasn't that way then. And I want to make it clear, I don't live in any area that's affected by this extension. I live in South Minneapolis. I've lived far from the Blue Line extension. And but I have ridden the light rail, and I do go over to North Minneapolis. And going up Broadway, when they put this, if they do put this extension in, it will destroy the area and the businesses that it goes up West Broadway, just like it destroyed the area where it goes down University Avenue. And I know you've said that you live in St. Paul. Have you ever gone down to Cedar and got on the light rail there and maybe ride it out to University and Snelling?
Yes. Yep, I have. Yeah.
Okay. And I think you would agree that from downtown St. Paul out to University and Snelling, except for this latest plan to redevelop the corner of Snelling and University,
Right.
There is no economic development.
No, there's been nothing. No, I totally agree
It's
with
a
that.
rat
It's
hole.
hard. It's hard to know at this point. Is that, I mean, there's so many factors, right? Is that because of rent control? Is it because St. Paul is such a government town and so many people have been working remotely and working from home that's been a factor? I mean, so many different things going on, right? I don't dispute your premise because it's clearly true. There has been minimal economic action in that corridor. Is that because of a multitude of factors? I think so, but you are right. It is a gamble. It's always a gamble, right? Is it going to pay off or not?
Well,
and you often you do knock it down. I mean, that is a fair reality in North Minneapolis, that there will be disruption. There will be people who won't make it. And there will be a certain amount of you knock it down to build it back up. And are people willing? Do we have the stomach for that? I don't know. 25, 30 years, right?
Yeah.
But what happens if you do nothing? Just it's the same as it is now.
I'm not saying do nothing. I'm saying I think the buses are a reasonable alternative. And the former vice president even went to a company in St. Cloud that manufactures electric buses and promoted those. If you wanted to go that route, electric, they're a lot more flexible. They're a lot easier to maintain, whether they're electric or not. If you have to change a route, you can change a route. And if you have to shut down, like the light rail just had to do within the last month for maintenance.
But nobody builds anything around a rapid bus line. That's the problem. Like, so if you're looking for the economic, I'm with you 100% of the transportation argument. I think the bus makes more sense, especially in an uncertain environment like we're in right now. But from an economic development standpoint, the bus doesn't do squat. It doesn't do anything for you.
Well, how do you know that?
Because we have buses all over the place. We have bus corridors, and we haven't seen housing projects. Because what a bus, the difference between a train and a bus is that the train gives certainty. The bus gives no certainty. So which is the benefit of the bus from a transportation standpoint, right?
If you don't have people riding the light rail, you're not going to get
screwed all the way around. You're right about that. Thanks, James. It does point out the challenge of this for sure. We're going to break in a minute. Will Steger, Minnesota legend, American legend. He is getting his time at the Minnesota History Center. Amazing opportunity to hear from Will Steger, who's just back from an unreal expedition in Canada. Can't wait to have an extended conversation with Will in just a minute here on CCL.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
All right, Jason here with a weekend challenge for you and skincare. This weekend is all about dads, right? We're thinking about Father's Day on Sunday. I want you to think about dad's skin. I go to Tureen Dermatology and get a full body skin checkup every year because my father has skin cancer. He's had a number of cancerous growths removed, and I know that can be genetic. Alyssa's dad also goes to Tureen Dermatology. My dermatologist, Dr. Mohiba Tureen, wants to see you. If you've never been in for a full body skin checkup, give yourself the peace of mind that mark or mole or freckle or whatever you think it is nothing to worry about. And once you do it the first time, then Dr. Tureen has that as a reference point. And if something changes, you can go back and say like, yeah, this was smaller. Let's take a look at this. Let's make sure nothing troubling develops. Tureen Dermatology is Tareen, TureenDermatology.com. 11 locations now. I go to Roseville. They're in Eagan. They're in Lakeville. They're all over Western Wisconsin and Hudson and expanding all over Minnesota because they don't want you to wait. If you need a dermatologist, Tureen Dermatology will see you within 3 weeks. Request an appointment. Do it today at TureenDermatology.com.
Every day, your ears put up with a lot. Give them something they'll actually enjoy. News that matters. Conversations worth hearing. News Talk, a trio. WCCO. Your ears deserve better.
From backyard barbecues to homegrown herbs, the best parts of summer start at Lowe's. Right now, get 3 Fairy Morse 1.3 quart vegetables and herbs for just $12. Plus, get 4 bags of Miracle Grow 0.75 cubic foot garden soil for only $10. Whether you're planting something new or giving your garden a refresh, now's the time to make the most of your outdoor space. Save more on what you need this summer at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/24 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work. And they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
Oh, no. There are certain sounds every one of us knows. The hum of a breaker that keeps tripping, the gurgle of a drain that should not be gurgling, the drip under the sink, the silence of a water heater that has stopped doing its job. And then you say it. Oh, no. It's Jason DeRusha. That is your moment to call Randy's Electric and Plumbing. For more than 20 years, Randy's has helped Twin Cities homeowners handle the stressful stuff. From electrical repairs, panel upgrades, and rewiring to plumbing repairs, sewer and drain service. They do sump pumps, water heaters, water softeners, filtration systems, and EV charger installs. Randy's licensed pros arrive prepared. They're going to explain your options clearly and give you honest pricing before the work begins. That's an oh yes. With same-day repairs, 2-hour arrival windows, and alerts when your technician is on the way, you'll know help is coming. When an oh no moment hits your home, don't panic. Call Randy's Electric and Plumbing.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight. Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Sweden returns to the World Cup behind an unstoppable striker who's been the deadliest goal scorer in European club football. Their direct, efficient style turns that firepower into results on the biggest stage.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Cross just cleared out a few minutes ago, West 94 near 494 Maple Grove. Traffic's still tight, though, is coming away from 169. South 35W slows as you make way into Burnsville, coming down from 106th Street. West 94 jammed up right now, well before Carmichael Road over to the St. Croix River. Terry Peterson, New Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
We have a number of severe thunderstorm warnings throughout the metro area. Right now, live radar showing most of our rain activity is happening to the north and the south. The metro looks pretty dry. Let's get the latest forecast from Chris Schaefer.
The cold front is moving out. That will take the showers and isolated thunderstorm threat with it. Sky is going to clear out tonight. We'll fall all the way back to 55, 75 the afternoon high tomorrow with plenty of sunshine. Partly cloudy and 75 for Father's Day on Sunday. Stays nice on Monday before we get some more much-needed rain next Tuesday.
St. Paul, it's 70 degrees and partly cloudy here on CCO.
The ride home deserves better conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
So excited to have a conversation with an absolute legend. Will Steger is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline, just back from a massive expedition, a solo expedition to Canada, and on the heels of a great opportunity for you and the Minnesota History Center to get a chance to visit with Will and learn from him. Will, it's great to talk to you again.
Good to be here, Chase. Thanks for having me on.
All right, we're going to get into all of the stuff that you are doing at the Minnesota History Center coming up next week. But I want to talk about this expedition. Solo expedition. You are 81 years old, 60 days in Canada. Talk to me about this mission, about this expedition.
Yeah, actually, I was 72 days. I just got back 4 days ago.
Oh, my gosh.
It was a personal trip. I was dropped off by a bush pilot 300 miles from the nearest person, where I dropped off on the Great Bear Lake, North Shore. And I traveled, over the divide and down towards the Arctic Ocean. It was probably a total of zigzagging in that around 700 miles. And I left on April 2nd, expecting spring weather. But believe it or not, the spring was very late. It was like March weather, winter weather the first month. So deep snow. And my first 100 miles or so, I was traveling through up a river that was frozen. It was forested. And then I got into the Canadian Barrens, which is wide open and very windy, a lot of windstorms there. And then finally got across the divide. I was totally unsupported. I didn't have any resupplies. And I had a whitewater raft, 8-pound raft that I use in Colorado River, very small, 8 foot. And once I got on the other side of the mountains there, I finally hit the thaw, and I went down, this Horton River at breakup time, with the ice. And then the last 100 miles, I had to hike out in order to get out of there. And planes weren't, in between the full season and ski season for planes, so there wasn't any chance of getting a plane in. But 30 miles from my destination, I was stopped by an open river. The river broke up real fast up there. So it was an incredible adventure. When you're traveling alone in this type of country, it's almost like flying a plane. There's no margin for error. So you have to be right on in anything you do. I have a lot of wildlife, but it was actually a very peaceful time for me to get away from society for 72 days, and then they come back here. So it's been good to be here.
I think a lot of us are jealous of that opportunity, that sort of solitude, that chance to be with nature. But you also, well, I was quite moved at the Steger Center website. You had sort of an expedition log and a blog throughout the journey. And on your last day, you shared some reflections about failure and goals, because I think, you hit this impassable river, right? And
right.
I understand why people would look at that and say, man, Will Steger, you failed. But I really like how you reflected on that and sort of reject that binary.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was for 70 days, every atom of my body was to get to Polituk, and it was a destination in terms of getting out. You just don't stop in the middle of nowhere and call it bag it in. And I was like 30 miles from a straight shot there. And at the last time I got stopped by this river because of the fast thaw. And it was just a 20-yard section I had to cross. 10 yards of it was deep water, and there's a slight current. I had a makeshift raft I could make with my waterproof bags and that. But there was a margin of error there that I just didn't take. I mean, that's why I'm 81 and still talking with you. And I knew it right away when I saw it. I didn't have to ponder it. I just knew it's not worth it. I'm just going to call it a day here. And then the problem there is I couldn't get a float plane because everything was frozen. Couldn't get a ski plane. And my food was really short. I was really on deep rations of my food. And the next question is, how do I get out of here now? But I was willing to take that, make that decision because it was worth my life. And for myself, this was not like being the first to the North Pole or crossing Antarctica. Those were kind of do or die. And the geographic first and doing it exactly how you said, if it's a big expedition like that, you have to follow by that. I did, that destination was just a way of getting out. But for myself, it's interesting how people reacted. Some people thought an incredible, remarkable decision. You're under stress. And if I had big ego and I wanted to really make my destination and not fail in the eyes of certain people, I might have taken that risk and I might have, not made it. And I have a lot of responsibilities with the Steger Center and my legacy at this point. And I'm not about risk that, with dying out there. But I made the right decision. My mind was calm, a wise decision of doing it that. And for myself, failure is really not trying. People are afraid of failure, and that's why they don't attempt certain things or they don't push things out too far. We're in a culture of winners and losers, football, so forth, which is a game, but our culture is that way. Everything's about winning, and then losing, you're a loser. That is not really the real world, but it is a culture that we live in, and we're afraid to take risks. You have to be comfortable with risk because, and for myself, the fact that I had to bail out 30 miles from my destination because of a river that stopped me, that was a sign of a really good expedition because I pushed it right to the very hilt.
Yeah.
And I came back to tell about it.
What do you think as we talk with Will Steger, who is getting ready for a big partnership with the Minnesota History Center? When you reflect on the fact that at your age, you're doing a solo expedition alone. Now, you had GPS contact, right? So if something went wrong, people would know where you were. Is that what you had some contact with the outside world, right?
Yeah, I did. I had a satellite phone and I called in a message on 5 to 8 minutes on a voice machine that was then put up immediately around my position. It's great that you can talk to the outside world, but where I was at, there's no chance of getting even a rescue in. So the communication is great. I was out on the line on purpose like that, and so communication helps somewhat, but it doesn't.
What
get
do you
if
think
you're-
about, Will? While you're alone for that period of a time, what are you thinking about?
That's a very good question. I'm in the moment all the time. This is the reason I do these solos, and I'm in the moment in the most beautiful area. It might be hardship, it might be storms, but it's just incredible if you're not in your mind making yourself miserable, thinking that you are miserable. Honestly, I have no thoughts whatsoever of the outside world, curiosity about the news, wanting to eat this, and wanting something. I had no even thought. I carried my loved ones in my mind, and I do think about my friends sometimes and that, but I don't ponder. When I'm there, I'm there. I'm in this incredibly quiet, silent mind, and I'm in that moment. So as long as I'm in the moment, I'm very safe. I had a couple of grizzlies, and I had all sorts of various encounters like that. But as long as I'm in the moment, I have that sense of presence. I'm totally safe, and that sense of presence is where I really want my mind and myself to be, so I could totally immerse myself for that period of time. And then when I came out, I'm out. I'm not sitting here in my houseboat right now thinking about Canada. I'm here enjoying this incredibly beautiful weather and looking forward to the thunderstorms that are coming in.
Isn't that interesting? I think there's a lesson there for all of us. I know you said your thoughts are with your friends. One of my best friends' dad, Paul Masek, is, I know, a friend of yours, and he was with you at the send-off at Yellowknife. I get a text from his son JP today. He's like, "You've got like one of my dad's best friends on the show today."
Yeah, Paul's a good man. Yeah,
it's a small town, Will. We all know we're all like 1 degree of separation away from somebody else. That's for sure. Stand by, Will.
This is a wonderful place. Yeah.
Will, stand by. I want to talk about what's going on at the History Center because there's so many great opportunities for people to learn a little bit about your legacy and hopefully be inspired. Just already hearing about the Canada expedition is inspiring me. Will Steger with us, back in just a minute on Drive Time with DeRusha.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason here for our friends at the Minnesota Pork Board. This weekend is all about Dad. It's all about Father's Day. And as you're celebrating Dad and hanging out in the backyard, maybe at the campsite, Minnesota Pork wants to be a part of your family celebrations. In fact, that is what our family pig farmers are. This is why they do what they do all year, taking care of those animals, taking care of their land, taking care of the water. It's also they can provide moments for you to come together. And Minnesota Pork loves being a part of your family celebrations. Maybe this weekend, it's, dads love to grill. So is it a pork chop, or maybe it's a nice slow day with a pork shoulder, cooking it low and slow, and pulled pork sandwiches, ribs. So many ideas for you if you go to tastewhatporkcando.com. That website has recipe inspiration, but let Dad be in charge this weekend. Go to the grocery store, go to the butcher shop, and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
For 250 years, America has been more than a place. It's been a promise, a story of courage, hope, and dreams. And through it all, local TV and radio broadcasters have been there, telling the story of America, bringing truth to light. Broadcasters tell the story of who we are and who we aspire to be. We are America's storytellers. We are broadcasters. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hey, Jordana, I'm Brian. I'm 58 and single. I have a house, a bunch of investments. And I have a sister I'm close to, but no kids or anything tying me down. So I never really worried about planning for the future. Recently, a friend of mine passed away unexpectedly without a will or a trust, and it created a huge mess for the family he left behind. I don't want to be a burden on my sister. I want to be prepared. So why should I choose Gutman Law?
Hi, Brian. Your instincts are correct. If you were to do nothing, the state would decide who's in charge and how to distribute your assets, which is probably not what you want. And your sister will have a lot to sort out by herself. Now, this is the reason why I chose Gutman Law. My family, Matt and Jamie, were so sensitive to the nuances of my situation after a divorce. An estate plan is more than just names and numbers on a piece of paper. It's family. Making it easy on them is what matters most. From healthcare directives to wills to living trusts, Gutman Law can help you determine what type of planning makes sense to protect you and your loved ones. 612-895-1616 or go to mnestatelaw.com. Gutman Law, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Summer is here and you need more room for your kids or grandkids and all their stuff. It's Jason DeRusha for Luther Kia of Bloomington. We're in the middle of the summer sticker sales event. 0% on all Sportages and Sorrentos. Specially marked vehicles have $750 bonus cash too. Best cars for the money on the market. It's not just me saying it. It's U.S. News and World Report. Check out their brand new facility, Luther Kia Bloomington, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Problems as you head up in Forest Lake, I-35 northbound as you head toward Highway 97. Got a multi-car crash in place. Left lane shut down. Activity off to the right shoulder. Stop-and-go traffic. That begins back at the split with 35E and 35W. If you're going to be traveling 10 westbound, you got some minor slowdowns making way into Anoka. 94 westbound, still sluggish as moving between Hemlock Lane heading up to 610. Jerry Peterson, News Talk ATRW, CCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Heavy rain in the Brainerd Lakes area, Onamia, Malacca, Wadena, some heavy rain. Twin Cities metro area, mostly dry. but that's not going to last throughout the night. Thunderstorms expected this evening, low temperature of 54. The weekend looks great, mostly cloudy or mostly sunny. Tomorrow, 76, partly cloudy Sunday. Both days looking pretty good. Monday looking good as well in the mid-70s. St. Paul, it's dry and 70 on CCN.
Jason DeRusha.
You can't have people telling you 24/7 that you're great. You need people around you to say, hey, that's a bad idea.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, we continue our conversation with explorer, with educator, with Minnesota legend Will Steger, who just got back after a nearly 70-day solo expedition to Canada. And you're back just in time for this series you have going on at the Minnesota History Center. Tell us about how this collaboration with the History Center and the Steger Center came about.
Yes, it came about, 40 years ago, we did the North Pole unsupported. And then people that are, in their 60s, 70s, probably remember that. And that was kind of the start of my public expeditions and career. And over the last 40 years, I've done, a number of great things, education projects and so forth. So it's kind of a celebration of that legacy that I've been able to put together, but more also projecting ahead towards the Steger Center, that leadership center that I'm building up in Ely. So as part of that, we're doing a film that was out after Antarctica. That was a feature film. And we have a number of activities on Saturday. There's a brunch with Beth Dooley. We're going to talk about equipment at the Science Museum, expedition gear on Saturday morning, and their matinee on Sunday. So there's all sorts of activities there that I'll be at. And some of it's not open to the public. You've got to sign up through the Science Museum, but you can go through our website at Steger Center, just stegercenter.org. And you'll see the sign up and information. It's a little simpler than the Science Museum or the Museum website.
Yes, their website is a bit of a beast. I was trying to navigate through some of these things. It's tough to get around. But the Steger Center website is a great way, stegercenter.org. The screening of the film is going to be on Thursday, right? The After Antarctica film screening. And then Saturday, I know you have a session talking a little bit about gear. I think people are fascinated about the type of gear that it takes to cross the Arctic.
Yeah, and Julie Hignell, who's a team member that crossed the Arctic Ocean with the 95, will be there. And we have a lot of gear. And it's an auditorium there that's really great, real intimate for about 300 people. There's plenty of room there. We're doing a lot of questions and answers. It's a 2-3 hour real conversation that we can go anywhere with that conversation after we do our presentation.
When you look at what you're doing in Ely and you hit a certain age, right? The idea of legacy and what, you're not doing these expeditions just to have them happen and then be gone, right? Legacy does matter to you, doesn't it?
It does. It's not like memorializing my name or something like that, but I've created the Steger Center for Leadership, and what we're doing in Ely is it's made for, based on what I've learned about leadership over my lifetime and problem solving. It's for high-level leadership, teams of 8 to 12 solving, seemingly unsolvable problems. It's not about making a profit. It's societal problems. For example, how do we bring our state together in a civil way again? We all know our separations. That type of a project, that really benefits more people than just one or two people, on profit making. So it's nonprofit, and it represents a culmination of the work that I've done. My expeditions have just been a platform for the programs that I have developed, and it's a continuation of that. And my legacy involves all the energy of Minnesota people and everybody that's been so generous, sponsors and people that have supported me over the years. So I feel it's not just an individual thing. It's something I really want to leave behind for the state that can carry on the work that I've created here. And that's all on the site on Steger Center too, if you want to check that out.
Well, great opportunity. And Beth Dooley is one of my favorites. I know the cookbook, the Steger Homestead Kitchen. Cookbook is awesome, so come and check that out. Come see Will Saturday. A lot of it is Saturday, but next week over at the Minnesota History Center. Will, thanks so much for taking the time with us today.
Okay, thanks so much then. Yeah, bye-bye.
Very good. Continental Diamond. Time check. It's 3:58. Cardi Sharks, we're playing that coming up. So if you want to play, let's go. 651-461-9226.
Hey, it's Benita. We all know how great the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty is. Moni, how did you get started working with the Schuster Group?
It started off with my husband driving to work one morning, listening to WCCO, and a commercial for the John Schuster Group came on. My main contact was Tim Sabin. They posted the listing. By the end of that day, we already had over 600 views. It was crazy. There was one offer that by far stood out way above the rest, over 10% over asking. And they had cash in bank.
If someone is on the fence about hiring the Schuster Group, what would you tell them?
To see it just blow up like that and move so fast and to get so much more over asking, it couldn't have been a more exciting and fun time. Selling that house for 20 years, one of the hardest decisions I had to make in my life. Choosing John Schuster Group, easiest decision I ever made in my life.
952-222-9000 online, johnschustergroup.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When Minnesota needs answers fast, they come here. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. President Trump today celebrating the freer flow of goods as it was before he began his war with Iran.
Those ships are flowing out of the Hormuz Strait like nobody's ever seen before, actually. There were a lot of them, about 700 of them, and they're pouring out. The oil is all over the place.
ABC chief business correspondent Rebecca Jarvis says cheaper crude won't mean fast relief, even as gas prices dip below $4.
But keep in mind, there's still a lot up in the air here. Supply chains, they don't come back instantly. If you're a farmer who paid more for gas and fertilizer, or you're a grocer who's seen higher transit costs, they're going to pass those off, and they are likely to stay higher through most of the summer.
47 people were killed this morning in Lebanon, along with 4 Israeli soldiers. Hours later, Israel and Hezbollah declared a ceasefire. The White House called Vice President Vance back from scheduled peace talks with Iran today. President Trump saying Vance will make that trip soon. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche today refusing a judge's order to sign a statement that verifies President Trump will not resurrect his $1.8 billion fund to compensate Americans. Millions now on alert for rising floodwaters as remnants of Tropical Storm Arthur drench the Gulf Coast. ABC's Morgan Norwood is near a flooded road in Robertsdale, Alabama.
For the past couple of hours, we have watched as truck after truck tries to make its way through. Thankfully, they've been able to get through. We've watched as other folks have used golf carts. Others not even risking it. They just, roll up their sleeves and roll up their pants legs, and then they just trudge through it. For others, I've even seen them using a kayak to pedal across. So this is definitely concerning. It's been frustrating for folks who live here.
Strong storms tomorrow, possible twisters for Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado. Director James Burrows, who gave us Cheers, Mary Tyler Moore, Will and Grace, and others, has died at 85. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy, 72 degrees at 4:02. I'm Laura Oaks. Nice afternoon. Stay aware, though, over the next few hours as the National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm watch for much of the state, including the Twin Cities. A few stronger cells going north of the metro at this hour. We'll get the very latest from meteorologist Chris Schaefer at 3:08. It is hopping in downtown Minneapolis today at a massive watch party for the USA World Cup match with Australia.
Well over 2,000 people watching the game, including Dan, who loves the atmosphere.
USA! Seeing all the variety of people, seeing all the variety of, World Cup t-shirts, and knowing the next person is on your side or the opposite team, you get to tease each other, respectfully.
It's Ainsley's first watch party, and she was ready for a good time.
I'm still going to have a good time regardless, but I'll have an even better time if they win.
Across the street at Brits, Ben spent a good portion of the first half waiting in line.
About an hour now.
It's kind of
and you're missing most of it. I know. Well, I got it on the phone, but it's not the same as inside. That's where the action happens.
The action is actually everywhere. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Local, state, and federal leaders celebrating Juneteenth at the Rondo Community Center in St. Paul this afternoon. Juneteenth marks the true end of slavery in the United States 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed by President Lincoln. U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar saying the Rondo community embodies the spirit of that freedom and of fighting for what is right.
With courage and grit, this community is continuing to recover from the harm caused by the construction of I-94 that split the neighborhood in half, and to make sure that what happened then never happens again.
The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension continues to investigate after a police officer was shot at a home in St. Peter last night. Details of the altercation have not been released, but he is believed to have been shot in the arm. So many events in the Twin Cities this weekend, including the popular Back to the 50s car show at the State Fairgrounds, with this year's focus on keeping the spark alive.
Organizers are highlighting a relatively new dedicated showcase for custom car builders under 30 in an effort to pass the torch to a new generation of hobbyists. 27-year-old Connor Kuyak is displaying his 1960 Buick Invicta.
We've seen kind of a trend downwards as far as the interest, and so I think they're really trying to get people interested, and I'm hoping that I can help along with that too.
Event volunteer Dale Solstrom.
Young people will have a secure spot for their cars to be placed. There will probably be about 9,500 cars.
He says the Minnesota Street Rod Association is watching to see if these younger drivers can successfully carry on the interest in the historic event. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
And it is the 50th annual Grandma's Marathon weekend in Duluth, with thousands of runners lacing up their shoes tomorrow. The marathon expected to have a $40 million economic impact for the area. WCCO News Time is 4:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Good news north of the Metro I-35 northbound as you head toward Forest Lake. The accidents are cleared out of the way, but it's still jammed up as you come off the 35D and 35W. Past the split there, heading up the Highway 97. East 94 is make way toward County Road 30. Getting word of a crash there. That's slowing it down as make way through Maple Grove. 94 westbound, so is home from Minneapolis. Cedar Avenue into Lowry Hill Tunnel. USPS Ground Advantage reliable route. That's going to be Highway 100 flowing nicely both directions between 394 and 494. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCC.
Oh no, the lights are flickering, the drain is backing up, the water heater just went cold. When home problems interrupt your day, call Randy's Electric and Plumbing. Same-day repairs, licensed pros, and clear pricing before work begins. For those oh no moments, call Randy's Electric and Plumbing.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
And yes, it is brought to you by Randy's Electric. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The showers and isolated thunderstorms will move out. The sky will clear out tonight as we fall back to 55. So another cool start tomorrow morning, but a wonderful finish. Mostly sunny with a high of 75. Father's Day looks great as well. Partly cloudy, up around 75. We should match that on Monday. Our next best chance of rain will be on Tuesday.
Partly cloudy in the Twin Cities, 73 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Stay smart, stay connected by staying tuned in. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
All right, we need contestants for Card D Sharks. $50 for Jester Concepts on the line, 651-461-9226. Love to have some people who haven't played before. We have a special theme, Father's Day questions, all Father's Day questions. I did research today. Look at the prep, the show prep. And we are on location today, an undisclosed location. But Alyssa is helping me out. You know, usually we'd have Laura flipping the cards. Alyssa, if you're watching on our live stream on Facebook or on YouTube, you can see Dan in the upper corner taking your calls. And then you can see the cards dealt out here. And Alyssa is running the camera. It's a family operation. This is a family operation, this radio show. That's sort of how it works, for sure. We got Vince. I need one more contestant at 651-461-9226. Kristen Olson came through, as always. She is the poet laureate of Card D Sharks. Laura gets the day off, a little bit of vacation. You know, she deserves it. She deserves it. All right, we did it. We have two contestants on the line. So let's play Minnesota's fastest growing high-low card-related afternoon radio game show. It's called Card D Sharks. I mean, is this show from the Arctic, the delay on that one? Maybe, who knows? All right, here we go. Here we are once again, and we're ready to play. Why, you may ask? Because it's Friday, the day you've looked forward to all of the week. It's here. Get excited. Call your cards, and let's speak on Card D Sharks. Very nice. Thank you to Kristen for the poem. We're playing for $50, a gift card at Jester Concepts, any of their restaurants. So grateful to Jester Concepts, and I'll tell you about the restaurants coming up. But first, let's meet our contestants. Vince is with us in a car on CCO. Vince, thanks for calling in. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I just got off work.
Oh, fantastic. I'm jealous. I got to tell you, although I am up north right now, I'm up in the Brainerd Lakes area, so I have zero complaints in this world. I'll tell you that much.
Very nice.
Any big weekend plans for you, Vince?
I'm volunteering for Special Olympics tomorrow.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. The big opening ceremonies, that's at US Bank Stadium, right?
Huntington Bank.
Oh, Huntington Bank. All right, that's right. So it's at Huntington Bank. So cool. Yes, and a big, some big name entertainment for the opening ceremonies. I'm going to be at, I think it's Allianz Field on Monday. There's a big kind of activity going on. So we got that coming up. Good for you for volunteering. How fun is this going to be? You must be excited.
I'm very excited. I'm ready to go.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Hopefully you're going to win some money here. But Chris and Hamill is standing in your way. Chris, welcome to Card D Sharks.
Hey, Jason. How you doing?
I'm outstanding. Outstanding. So glad to have both of you with us. Any big plans for you this weekend, Chris?
Kids, grandkids, and a little bit of work.
That's how it is. That's how it is. Well, Father's Day. It is Father's Day weekend. You're a father, Chris. Are you as well, Vince?
Yes, I am.
All right, very good. What I've done is I've done some research, some polls, some Father's Day research. And so all our questions on Card D Sharks are related to dads. These will be answered with a number from 1 to 100. Vince will get the first question. Chris will say higher or lower, and whoever's right gets control of the cards. If you want to watch, you can see the cards dealt out at YouTube or the WCCO Radio Facebook page. Just click on live, either of those. So the first question goes to you, Vince. Vince, it's a Father's Day related question because on Mother's Day, the number one thing moms always say they want to do is have time alone. For Father's Day, 58 out of 100 dads say they want to spend time with their children. See, dads are better than moms. I think that's the takeaway that I'm getting there. My question to you is, how many dads said the number one thing they want to do on Father's Day is have time alone? How many out of 100 dads said they would like time alone, Vince?
Oh boy, good question. I'm gonna say 65.
Vince says 65. And so the question goes to you, Chris. Do you think the actual number of dads who said they want to spend time alone is higher or lower?
That's a trap question. It's lower.
The actual number of dads who said they want to spend time alone is just 19. It is much lower. 19% of dads said they want to be alone. And so that is good news for you, Chris. You get to choose your card color first. Do you want the blue cards or do you want the black cards?
Let's go with black.
All right. Chris is going black, and you, again, can watch the cards on our live stream. Chris, your opening card is a 2. Nice start. Higher or lower than a 2?
I think we're going higher.
I think you're probably right, and you are. It's a 9. It is higher than a 2. 9's a tricky one. You can freeze if you'd like and save your progress and keep your competitor from having a shot. Or you can just go for it. You're on a 9, higher, lower, or freeze. What do you say, Chris?
Let's lower.
All right, Chris is a gambler. I like it. Lower than a 9. It is a 6. It is lower than a 9. And you are in business. Just 2 cards separating you for that $50 gift card. You can freeze as always. That keeps you from losing your cards if you call it wrong. But it's up to you, Chris. You're on a 6. Higher, lower, or freeze?
Yeah, you know, I got nothing to lose, right? I started with nothing, and I got no investment here, so let's go higher.
All right. I mean, you're objectively right. You started with nothing. So here we go. We're on a 6. You said higher. It is a queen. It is higher. And oh my goodness, we are off to the races here. Normally, I'd make you break to drag this out, you know, just to kill another segment. Because it's Friday, and how much show prep do you think I really put into this thing today, you know? but for you, Chris,
tell you about my next. You want me to tell you my next answer? Is there ask? You know, how many kids you got, Vince?
Right. I'm not going to torture you guys. I'm not going to drag you out. Chris, you're on a queen. You've got 1 card separating you and $50. You want to go higher or lower than that queen?
Let's go lower.
All right. This is for $50 at a Jester Concepts restaurant. It is a Evan Williams bourbon deck of cards for people watching on the live stream. Is it lower than a queen? It is. It's a 10, and we got a winner. How about that? Chris and Hamill, congratulations. You ran the cards. I'll tell you, Chris, there's no one happier than my wife, who is currently holding the camera. That is, she's had to have her hand in the in the upright position here the entire time. But you are the winner. Nice work. Congratulations.
Congrats. Well, it wasn't hard. There wasn't any 7s or 8s in there, so
it's pretty easy. It's true. Vince, we always give people a shot to run the table when you don't get a turn. So if you can run the table, I will also give you $50. So let's have some fun. Here we go.
All right.
You start with a 6. You start with a 6. Higher or lower than a 6, Vince?
I'll go higher.
All right, higher than a 6. It's a 5. And all right. Oh, you had a rough deal right out of the gate there. That is for sure, Vince. But thank you for listening. Thank you for playing, and I hope you have a great Father's Day this weekend.
I appreciate it very much. It was fun. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And thanks for volunteering for Special Olympics. Good stuff with Vince. Chris is our winner. Chris gets a $50 gift card that you can use at any of the Jester Concepts restaurants. And in Hamill, I don't know, the Excelsior, kind of the Mirabelle Parlor Bar. Shiki Noodle Bar, that might be your closest combo, but you can use it at PS Steak in downtown Minneapolis, Butcher and the Boar. Lots of great restaurants. So congratulations, Chris. Stay on the line. Dan will get your info, and we'll get that gift card off to you next week.
All right. Thank you.
Excellent. Nice Father's Day gift. Alyssa, great work. Great job. Alyssa has never been on.
Her part. I can't believe you roped her into that.
Well, and Dan, you know sort of the dirty little secret about Alyssa and this show. It's been 4 years. And when I say you know the dirty little secret about Alyssa, this sounds way more dramatic than it is.
It's not that, yeah.
Alyssa, we have almost celebrated 4 years of Drive Time with DeRusha. Every other person in my family has been on the show. I think my parents have been on.
Yep.
I think Seth's girlfriend has been on the show. Alyssa's never been on the show.
Nope, never, not once.
Does this count as her being on the show?
I mean, if we don't hear from her, I don't know how that can count.
Yeah. All right. Well, the real bummer, can I tell you what ticks me off about this, Dan?
I wish you would.
I researched 4 different questions about that. Only got to ask one question.
This was too good.
I should have fixed the cards. I could have. I'm in a undisclosed location.
We don't mess with the cards.
No,
it's
I don't want a game show scandal. That's for sure. So congratulations. We'll break. We will maybe some father talk. I've got the questions. We'll run through a little bit of Dad's Day stuff for you when we come back here on CCL.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on.
Alyssa, great work. Great work.
Help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Chad, back here with you. I want to talk about trust and peace of mind.
Yeah.
We all need it, in particular in some areas, including your insurance. Maybe it's for your business. Or maybe it's more traditional with your house and your car. For me, I have trusted Amber Scholl and Associates with American Family for what are you guessing? 5 years, 10 years? No. My entire family, whether it's my father or my kids, with American Family, with Amber in particular,
seems like we have
for
lots
30
going on tonight.
years.
We got
Dread
champagne,
something bad happening.
Italian restaurants.
With a car accident, but we need people with expertise, with professionalism and availability, and that's what Amber and her
Harbor
are all about. Reach out to them today. It's worth it. Trust me. 651-738-4811.
Summer is here and you need more room for your kids or grandkids and all their stuff. It's Jason DeRusha for Luther Kia of Bloomington. We're in the middle of the summer sticker sales event. 0% on all Sportages and Sorrentos. Specially marked vehicles have $750 bonus cash too. Best cars for the money on the market. It's not just me saying it. It's U.S. News and World Report. Check out their brand new facility. Luther Kia of Bloomington now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
As dads, it's our job to capture as many memories with our kids as possible. It's also our job to embarrass them. And if we're lucky, we get to do both. That's why I'm thankful my son created Legacy Box, the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos.
And I'll never recover from the time you showed up to my middle school dance to disco in front of everyone. Thanks, Dad. But he's right. Simply fill your Legacy Box with your old VHS, camcorder tapes, film reels, and photos, and we'll do the rest.
And in just a couple of weeks, you'll get your originals back, along with a DVD, thumb drive, or cloud delivery. Stuff that even an old man like me can figure out.
Plus, for a limited time, we're offering a special Father's Day sale.
Go to legacybox.com/radio to get an incredible deal. Buy today to take advantage of this limited offer. Go to legacybox.com/radio
to get started and save.
legacybox.com/radio.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
I feel like you're wasting my time talking about something that I wasn't a part of. It's like the most intellectually bankrupt. This is just terrible.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Dan, I want to give a spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
USA winning the World Cup match against Australia. The Aussies were supposedly angry because some big-time soccer commentators said that the United States drew a weak competition, a weak round in this opening round of the FIFA World Cup. But and the Aussies were like, "How dare you? How dare you?"
Well,
we beat them 2-0. So either, and this is the thing you really can't tell at this point: is the United States good, or have they played two weak teams? We don't know. We don't know.
Well, here's what we do know:
win.
You gotta win. That's one thing. But they've scored more goals in that first game than they ever had in any single World Cup game.
Yeah,
and now you
Paraguay, it was supposedly good, right?
Okay,
good-ish.
Okay. But I mean, that was a dominant performance by the U.S. And then to shut out Australia 2-0. Now you've basically cashed in, your chips. You're going on to the next round, regardless of what happens in the third game, and see where you're at. So I mean, they're playing well. Whether it's good enough to make a deep run, we'll see. But
it's fun, isn't it? And I know we did a segment early on asking people if they really do like soccer, because there's always this. Sometimes I think the American attitude towards soccer is similar to like our attitude in the Twin Cities about Lower Town St. Paul, where like we always want it to happen. We're like, man, wouldn't it be great if Lower Town were awesome? And it's not going to happen. Soccer feels like one of those things where you're like, man, our kids play soccer hugely. We love that. We want our kids to play it. We enjoy that.
It's a great youth sport because it's compared to a lot of the other ones, it's fairly cheap.
Yeah,
and
right.
Just
once you get to crazy level, but
once you get to traveling and stuff like that. But I mean, it's not like hockey.
It's not hockey.
And thousands on equipment.
And there are fields everywhere. And if you have a kid who wants to kick a ball, you can go kick a ball. You know what I mean? Like it is when you talk with Tony Sane, who was in the World Cup from Minneapolis. Tony talks about when he was a kid, you just kick the ball. You always, if you loved soccer, you would always play. But the sort of national appetite for this never quite catches on. To me, the World Cup is not, it's different. It's about the love for country. So you're going to read all sorts of think pieces over the next couple of weeks. People talking about how like now soccer is happening. No. It's the same as the Olympics. We love the Olympics because we freaking love America and we love to cheer for our country against other countries. It is normal. It is awesome. It's something that I feel like has been looked at as like a not acceptable thing to do in some circles where you're not allowed to say that you love America without in the next breath saying every single thing that we do that's wrong. I love America, and cheering for America's soccer team, for the USA, it feels good. And to me, it's about that. Is it about soccer? No, to me, it's not. I don't think it is, Dan.
I think you're right. I don't think it's so much about soccer, but in addition to, and I think you're on to that something there, it's about, being patriotic and cheering for your country against other countries. But another thing, especially with the World Cup being here, in addition, obviously, to Mexico and Canada, but being here in America, it's also about seeing how bonkers everybody else in the world goes for soccer, right? It's about the watch party over.
That is fun.
And Ariel too. I mean, it's those big gatherings and watching these people just lose. It's about watching the Norway fans do the rowing thing on the up escalator. Everybody's seen that video online. It's about seeing that kind of stuff. It's just seeing how crazy the rest of the world is for this.
I'd love to hear your thoughts at 651-461-9226. Are you into it? Are you sort of like I am where, I watch soccer and I watch Premier League soccer because my 18-year-old is bonkers for it. And so I want to have shared conversations with my son. If he's going to be a big fan of it, I want to be a fan of it. And also, like, I'm not quite there when it comes to soccer. I like watching it in person, anything I go to, like, I like doing stuff. So It's fun to go watch the Aurora. It's fun to go watch the United. It's just fun for me to be with other people who are having a great time. Like, I like that. Where are you on World Cup fever? Is it about America? Is it about that permission to unabashedly cheer for your country? 651-461-9226. We'll hear from you as Drive Time continues on this Friday on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
This weekend, as the rain falls and you start thinking towards summertime weddings, summertime activities, I want you to think about the absolute leader when it comes to men's clothing in Minnesota, and that is J.H. & Sons. It's Jason here wearing head-to-toe J.H. & Sons right now, because the clothing that you'll find at this amazing store in the Galleria in Edina, it's not just about the suits or the tuxedos or the formal wear, but oh man, do they have the best selection and the best quality and the best people. Because I don't know about you, if the last time you bought a suit was 15 years ago, it's a little intimidating, right? What looks good? What is the in style? What is the suit that's going to last you for the next 15 years? J.H. & Sons has you covered. The Halberstadt family and Jeff Halberstadt, my gosh, what he has built over there is unbelievable. I have had just a great pleasure of getting to know Jeff over the years. And his family got things started in St. Cloud. You might know Halberstadt's in St. Cloud. Great men's clothing store. But Jeff and his sons have turned J.H. & Sons into just a juggernaut in the upper Midwest. Come visit them at the Galleria. Yeah, and I'm wearing like casual clothes right now. They've got great, you want to up your game for date night? You deserve it. Let's dress better. It makes you feel better. It makes you more confident. Sign up for their email list. You'll be the first to know about special events or sales. You can do that at jhandsons.com.
The secret to enjoying your commute? Forgetting it's a commute. Yeah, you could focus on all the brake lights and lane closures and cone zones, or take the scenic route. For your brain, take it from us. Traffic's easier when the radio's better. News Talk 830 WCCO, the official cure for the common commute.
Heat Prepper Log Day 12. I trained the dog to fan us with a pizza box.
Or get a $59 AC tune-up from Apollo Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Just visit callapollo.com.
The air is cool now thanks to Apollo, but the dog ate the pizza.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Got your slow down display, Charlie 935 northbound, coming up on Forest Lake Split, heading up toward Highway 8. I-94 westbound, that's jammed up Carmichael Road as you head toward the St. Croix River. Got some slowing on Highway 36, both directions between Victoria and 35W. Terry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Eagan. We are keeping a close eye on the radar this afternoon because there is a severe thunderstorm watch in most of the area until 8 o'clock tonight. Here's the latest from Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The cold front is moving out. That will take the showers and isolated thunderstorm threat with it. Sky is going to clear out tonight. We'll fall all the way back to 55, 75 the afternoon high tomorrow with plenty of sunshine. Partly cloudy and 75 for Father's Day on Sunday. Stays nice on Monday before we get some more much needed rain next Tuesday.
Right now in downtown St. Paul, it is 70 degrees. Rain to the north. Up here near Brainerd, it's 64 and light rain on CCO.
Steering you through what matters. Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
And texter saying rain and hail in St. Michael as well. So we'll keep an eye on that radar. It's definitely volatile out there. You sort of can feel it, right? You feel that humidity in the air. It's, I don't know. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. It, obviously, hail, less fun. But we'll keep an eye on things for you this afternoon. Right now, most of the metro area is dry. The rain very heavy towards the south. The U.S. men's national soccer team, rather, has been raining goals, and they will advance to the knockout round, winning in Seattle as they beat Australia 2-0 this afternoon. Is that how we say it? Is that right? 2-0? I don't know. I want to be all in on the proper soccer lingo. And my question to you is whether there's something cathartic about this moment. What is it, if anything? And maybe you're out. Maybe you're about to get on board the train because you didn't know if you should get invested in this or not. 651-461-9226. One texter saying, I love America, but soccer could not be a more boring sport. I get it. I get that. But at this point, don't you want to get on board the fun? I think that's sort of where I am on this, because fun is, well, you have fun and you have patriotism. Both of those things coming into play at the same time. And for me, like that fun aspect, it just is contagious. When you see, as we saw in Seattle over the last hour or so, like the giant fan base of American soccer fans singing Take Me Home Country Roads to the U.S. soccer player, like it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. And Ari was over at the big party, and we'll have another update at 5 o'clock. But seeing Brits in downtown Minneapolis on Nicollet Mall, and seeing what's the other pub where everybody was all loaded up? Just the other Irish pub, the local. Brits in the local, and everybody's sort of fired up and having fun. To me, it's like, all right, when's the next match? Like, I want in. Now, after the U.S. will have one more match in this first round. And as Dan had said, it won't really matter. The next round will be on the 25th. So that isn't until next Thursday night. So a long time in between matches, right? But that next matchup will be 9 o'clock at night, our time, next Thursday. And then you go to the knockout round. So that's where it's like you got to keep winning. So pretty fun. It's pretty fun stuff. I don't know. I think there is some release in just the fact that you can cheer for America. Another texter says, hi, FIFA soccer is great, but the American fans look like they're in Where's Waldo in the striped shirts. I am more proud of the incredible athletes and the difficulty they may have given the current political climate. I think Americans are always looking for an opportunity to just go nuts and cheer for America. And at this point, like, what more do you need to get on board, right? You have 2 wins. You have a successful American team. I think it's sort of a no-brainer where you jump in and you're all on board of that. Want to let you know that there is a tornado warning in effect in Bram, Ogilvie, and Stanchfield, Minnesota. Pretty small swath, but this is sort of in the Kennebec County area. There are about 5,000 people who live in the sort of triangle zone. So that tornado warning is in effect until 4:45 tonight. We're also watching the chance of hail in the Foley, Rice, Royalton, Minnesota area. So a lot of this is happening quite out of the metro, but it might be within earshot of CCO. So the other area we're watching until 5:15 tonight, and you heard the texter who said there's a little bit of hail in the metro area. So that little bit of hail in, I forget where, St. Michael. We have a special weather statement that we're watching for that penny-sized hail, 40-mile-an-hour winds in the immediate North Metro. So you're looking at Crystal and Brooklyn Park, Maple Grove, Coon Rapids, Corcoran, Hamel, Rogers. So this is like, I don't know, they've invented this special weather statement category where it just basically means like be on the alert for this.
It means we're acknowledging that there's a thunderstorm that's active in your area, but it doesn't qualify as severe, so it's okay. Don't panic.
Right. But we're still telling you it's happening.
Right.
Like, okay,
so please don't call us. We'll call you.
It's sort of the bit. But some of this stuff is moving in the metro, and that is in effect for the next 25 minutes. So we're watching that for the next 25 minutes or so. So we'll keep you up to date. We're watching the alerts as they come out from the weather service. But for the most part in the metro area, we're just in that sort of keep your eyes open in the North Metro over the next 30 minutes or so. Why don't we break early so we can sort of check in on all the weather stuff that's going on? And you're welcome to text in if you've got hail or other reports, 651-461-9226. When we come back, I want to talk about sort of those transition moments in life. Yesterday, I went to a very good friend of mine's mother's funeral. And it just has me thinking about this weekend as we celebrate parents, and celebrate fathers, just how much we need to cherish those moments that we still have with fathers who are in our life. We'll talk about that when we come back on Drive Time.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Insurance is top of mind right now. If you've got hail coming on your car, coming on your home, severe weather, it is the time where you want that peace of mind of knowing that you have the best coverage. And let's be honest, we all want to have the best price. It's Jason. And I count on the Canopy Group at thecanopygroup.com, local company that has assembled an unbelievable team of insurance companies at their disposal. It is what makes the Canopy Group different. You can go to thecanopygroup.com and get a quote. And what the Canopy Group does is they don't just have one insurance company and one agent, like most places. 80% of Minnesotans have you got one gal or one guy, and there's one company. That's it. The Canopy Group says, no, we are going to put together 16 companies. Some are big names, some maybe you wouldn't. All are awesome. And we will get the best coverage at the best price for you. It's sort of like comparison shopping, but just by calling one place. The Canopy Group wants to take care of you and your family. They've taken care of mine. We have home and auto insurance with the Canopy Group, and I just called their 800 number, 800-967-3389. And they saved me $820. There's no obligation, so make the call or visit the website. You can do it online. Get a quote this weekend. thecanopygroup.com.
This is Laura Oakes. The National Weather Service issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for several areas of the metro in effect until 5:30 this afternoon. This includes southeastern Anoka County, north central Dakota County, Hennepin County, and Ramsey County. A severe thunderstorm was located over Corcoran, just east of Buffalo, moving southeast at about 35 miles per hour. The hazards involve wind gusts, quarter-sized hail. Hail damage to vehicles is expected, so move your car if you can. That is a severe thunderstorm warning until 5:30 this afternoon, parts of Anoka, Dakota, Hennepin, and Ramsey counties.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
You know that feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off? We've all been there. Jordana here. That's where CBN comes in. CBN, short for cannabinol, is a naturally occurring hemp cannabinoid known for its relaxing, sleepy effects. Think of it like the lights dimming signal for your brain. While CBD helps you stay calm, CBN helps your body know it's time to rest. That's why we call it CB Night Night. Mini Leaf Night and Night Plus Sleep Gummies combine CBN, CBD, and CBG to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Go to minileaf.com, MINNELEAF.com, minileaf.com, the home of Minnesota's best legal products. And tell them Jordana sent you.
Summer is here and you need more room for your kids or grandkids and all their stuff. It's Jason DeRusha for Luther Kia of Bloomington. We're in the middle of the summer sticker sales event. 0% on all Sportages and Sorrentos. Specially marked vehicles have $750 bonus cash too. Best cars for the money on the market. It's not just me saying it. It's U.S. News and World Report. Check out their brand new facility. Luther Kia of Bloomington, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Yeah, there's certainly a factor for the afternoon cruise. It's affecting 94 westbound. Pretty much slow as you come away from 169, head up into Rogers, and the rain's falling there. Make sure you're buckled up and the headlights are on. Accident with injuries working. Highway 36 eastbound near Snelling Avenue. Right lane currently closed. That was packed and stacked and backed up to 35W. USPS Ground Advantage viable route. That's going to be 494 southbound 94 as you head down to Highway 61 on that southeast corner of the metro. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jordana Green here. I pray you and your family are always safe. But if there's ever a time where you need an advocate after an accident, let Mike Bryant of Bradshaw and Bryant help you. He will work with and for you in dealing with the insurance company. Call 800-770-7008 today. Bradshaw and Bryant, seeking justice for the injured.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
And that forecast is for a absolute train storm of it's like a freight train coming in towards Maple Grove and the North Metro. We are, as Laura told you, in a severe thunderstorm warning for Rogers, Coon Rapids, Brooklyn Park, most of Minneapolis, St. Paul, all the way down to South St. Paul until 5:30. When this moves out later tonight, we head towards a great weekend. Partly sunny tomorrow, partly cloudy on Father's Day, both days, in the mid 70s. Very nice. Right now, we are in that severe thunderstorm warning. We'll keep talking about the weather here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
The words they used were confusing, intimidating, overwhelming, taking over the world.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I can't move on, baby doll.
All right, so we want to stay in continuing coverage here as this severe thunderstorm warning, including the North Metro, is in effect. JP told you that this is impacting the roads, and we see it on traffic cameras for sure. Heavy rain, and throughout the day in different parts of Minnesota, we've seen those kind of massive downpours. Love to hear from you if you're seeing hail or anything like that. If you're in a safe position, of course. I don't want you going outside. I don't need anybody being like a local TV news reporter. But you can text it at 651-461-9226. And already Maple Grove getting reports right off of 87th Avenue of golf ball size hail, which is, golf ball is big stuff. Like, that is big stuff. It's probably, this is the time where it's too late. Laura mentioned move your car. And for sure, if you're in like North Minneapolis or anywhere really north of 394 is the dividing line, as I'm looking at live weather service radar. That is, that's pretty much, if you're in the South, if you're in Minnetonka and Edina and Emperor Grove Heights, you're seeing nothing. But that big monster of a cell is in the Hanover, Corcoran, moving through Maple Grove, headed towards Brooklyn Park. And that is the area that the Weather Service has put that warning in. But that's not the only area we're watching. Up near East Bethel, just to the north of Ramsey, there's another large cell. And even a little more to the north, sort of in the Rush City, Bram, North Branch area, you've got heavy storms as well. St. Cloud, seeing the big, mostly it's just steady rain, but you do see these cells of big activity. And that's why those watches and warnings and special statements have all been put into effect. Dan, as we monitor the Weather Service, there's no tornado warning in effect, but the severe thunderstorm warning. And this is about, 1.5 million people in this part of the Twin Cities that under this severe thunderstorm warning with the threat of up to 60-mile-an-hour wind, quarter-size hail. And that thunderstorm warning is in effect until 5:30. So we'll see this thing move through. It's moving pretty quickly, but it is packing a punch as well.
Yeah, we should mention that there is a tornado warning to the north. It's outside of the metro area. So just to clarify, there is a tornado warning that includes like places like Rush City and Cushing, Wisconsin, until 5:30. So that's that northern line of storms that is moving off to the east, not directly impacting the metro area, but there is a tornado warning involved up there. In the metro area specifically, we just have that one severe thunderstorm warning that covers kind of the heart of the metro area. And again, I don't have the timing on that. You had that in front of you.
Yeah. Yep. Until 5:30. But the tornado warning was scheduled to expire in the Bram, Ogilvie, Stanchfield area. That was in effect until 4:45 tonight.
Right. And then they updated that and moved it a little bit to the east.
Just to the east. Gotcha.
And that's till 5:30 as well.
Okay. Very good. So we're watching both of those. And the Weather Service has specifically indicated if you're on the roads, right now, if you're along I-94 or 694 in the northern Twin Cities metro, Corcoran is getting a lot of hail right now, the Weather Service is saying. So this is sort of scary stuff. I was in a hailstorm along Interstate 94 last week, and it's scary. You hear those pellets pounding against the steel of your car, and you're like, I don't know what, I'm just holding on for dear life. So definitely it's a reminder, daytime, a lot of us have those running daytime lights on. Make sure you turn your regular headlights on as you're out in the middle of that. But it is something to be prepared for. And you often will see like motorcyclists pulling off under an overpass to try to keep them so they're not getting pelted with this stuff as it moves through.
Yeah, and it's a fairly isolated and quickly moving cell that we're talking about here, because of course this severe thunderstorm warning extends across, like I said, the heart of the Twin Cities. So it includes Minneapolis. Obviously,
Right.
I'm sitting in downtown looking out the weather window, seeing bright sunshine right now. So
Oh,
it hasn't
interesting.
gotten here yet.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of isolated. It's not an enormous cell, but there is power to it and some serious hail that's involved, along with some wind. So people want to be careful, and it will come down here eventually. At least that's the pattern it seems to be showing. But if you're wondering why, well, hey, I'm in this area and I'm looking outside and it's sunny, that's what's going on. It's headed, right across, like I said, the heart of the metro area. So it will be hitting places like, Plymouth and Brooklyn Park and downtown Minneapolis as it moves to the east to get out to Shoreview, Little Canada, St. Paul, South St. Paul. All of these are included in the severe thunderstorm warning that's active until 5:30. But you may be looking like out your window as I am here in downtown going
Right.
by sunshine. Again, it's just one compact cell that's moving through here.
Yeah, it's interesting how they warn now. Like, instead of indicating counties, they're really trying to triangulate the path of the storm. And so in this case, your phone might give you an alert for a various area, but the rectangle they have drawn, it's not exactly bordered on the south by 394, because in Minneapolis, it'll go a little bit to the south of it, but it's mostly sort of draw a line from Rogers to Shoreview, and from Medina to South St. Paul, Inver Grove Heights. That's sort of the path we're looking at. So if you're in Shakopee and Bloomington and Burnsville and Eagan, you got nothing. And frankly, even to the north of it, if you're in Anoka or Ramsey or East Bethel or Wyoming, you might be seeing nothing as well. So as Dan indicated, it is a pretty narrow cell, but we have some of these popping up all over the place. And if you're in St. Cloud or north of Forest Lake on 35, like, there's some nasty stuff on the Weather Service radar up there as well. So it is something that's been in the forecast. We've been keeping our eye on this throughout the day. And that tornado warning, as Dan mentioned before, also in effect. The tornado warning is Knabec. So it's out a ways, that tornado warning, including Rush City and Cushing. Another pretty small, very narrow radar indicated warning, but that's in effect until 5:30 tonight. So Rush City, Cushing, Harris and Sunrise are some of the cities in this area. It's a lot of farmland, but this is 35 at 35 just to the north of North Branch is sort of the area we're talking about there. 651-461-9226. Welcome to text in. If you're seeing hail or anything that's worth us knowing about, we want to know about it. And a texter pointing out, Dan, in the news again this week has been the hail damage to US Bank Stadium.
Yeah.
Which Chris Eggert was filling in for Chad Hartman. And Chris actually did a story on that a year ago, talking about that damage and that it was going to be an issue for insurance. And obviously, the texter says, you can't tell me that nobody thought about potential hail damage. But, until it hits.
You should have thought about it. Although I did hear that
I think they thought about it, right?
Yeah,
But
the company that did the roof for US Bank Stadium is the same one that did the reflecting pool. So you can't be really surprised. There's some problems there.
Man, I was defending the reflecting pool work.
Want to stick with that, do you?
No, I would like to rescind my comments. That sometimes perhaps there's a reason that the bids are more expensive and the process takes longer than President Trump wanted it to take. That hiring Vern and Larry from the Quality Learning Landscape Center was maybe not our best idea there. Not ideal.
They got a heck of a deal, I heard.
You pay today or you pay tomorrow. If I've learned anything about home improvement, like, that is for sure. That is for sure the deal. We are in a severe thunderstorm warning for Minneapolis, for much of the metro area. St. Paul is in it. Brooklyn Park is in it. And the crux of this storm is moving from west to east. And so over the next half hour, we'll be seeing more of that, especially North Metro, Shoreview, Little Canada. You should be prepared, and you do have time to move your car if you're in this zone, and you can move a car to an indoor area, or you can get somewhere, if you're trying to head home, or you're on the roads. make your decisions and think about that as we move forward. We'll have more updates. Of course, Laura's going to get you up to date on the news. And, if we need to blow out our coverage because something's going on, we will do that. Continental Diamond time right now is 3:57. Time to get to continentaldiamond.com. Father's Day is coming. There's still time for you to go get Dad that luxury timepiece. Why not? Check out what they have at continentaldiamond.com. More weather coverage and the latest news here on CCO.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
What did I say?
Modeling for 30 plus years.
3, 4.
I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Minnesota's home for headlines, hijinks, and home runs. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. Let's begin with the good stuff. Team USA just made the round of 32 at the World Cup, beating Australia 2-0 in Seattle. Now to Washington, where the Trump administration is refusing a judge's order to put in writing that the $1.8 billion Trump fund is dead.
Judge Leonie Brinkema, who's already issued an injunction blocking the anti-weaponization fund, has said she would dismiss the lawsuit over it if senior Justice Department officials swear in a declaration that it's truly dead. Instead, the department responds to the judge by saying she can't make the officials do that. Rather than putting forward a sworn declaration in her court, they're pointing to Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche's pledge in a congressional hearing that the fund isn't moving forward.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. More than 1,000 flights now canceled because of weather. The biggest impacts around Dallas, the season's first named tropical storm fizzling after drenching the Gulf Coast. Tomorrow, many of us are advised to keep an eye on the sky for possible twisters. ABC meteorologist Leslie Lopez.
You're looking into areas of, looks like the Midwest. We're going to continue to see a high level threat, 3 out of 5 for destructive wind, large hail, and also tornadoes breaking out. Now, this does not happen till Saturday. So we're preparing ourselves for what's to come as we're heading into, it looks like Saturday afternoon.
Israel and the Iran-backed Hezbollah have agreed to stop their heavy fighting in Lebanon. This a day after a heavy exchange of fire killed 47 people in Lebanon. And 4 Israeli soldiers. There is no date set yet for postponed peace talks between the U.S. and Iran.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
The director of Cheers and so many classic TV comedies has died. James Burrows said in 2003 he wanted to be remembered so that every night forever you can tune in somewhere and there'll be a show I did. He did so many. Will and Grace, Taxi, Friends, Mary Tyler Moore, Laverne and Shirley. He was 85. This is ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's 5:02. I'm Laura Oakes. 73 degrees in the Twin Cities and some weather to talk about right off the top. We are under a severe thunderstorm warning in most of the Twin Cities, both Hennepin and Ramsey counties, as well as southeastern Anoka County and north central Dakota County. Reports of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with these storms and quarter-sized hail. This severe thunderstorm warning continues until 5:30. Also, as we've been mentioning, there is a tornado warning, not in the Twin Cities metro, but a lot of folks heading north this weekend. So this is something to be aware of. Tornado warning in northern Chisago County and northwestern Polk County, which is in northwestern Wisconsin. That warning until 5:30 as well this afternoon. In other news, PV Plaza and Brits Pub, the places to be today for a massive watch party as the U.S. men's national team took on Australia in the World Cup. 2,500 tickets were issued for the event, which was sold out. For some, the line at Brits was almost an hour's wait. But maybe that's just because soccer fans are just that passionate or crazy.
In general, I think so. They're just loud and they like to have fun, and yeah, they're not holding no emotion in. So in that way, yeah, they are crazy. I mean, we are crazy.
The U.S. beat Australia 2-0 to advance to the round of 32. Many Juneteenth celebrations across the Twin Cities today. Minnesota U.S. Senator Tina Smith among the dignitaries speaking at the Rondo Center's celebration in St. Paul.
You know, Juneteenth is a celebration of liberation, of freedom, of emancipation. And it's also a celebration of perseverance of so many people who have worked so hard for so long, including on making Juneteenth a federal holiday.
Smith and U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar helped pass the bill that created the federal holiday a few years ago. U.S. Senate Democratic candidates Angie Craig and Peggy Flanagan square off for the first time in a debate tonight on Twin Cities Public Television, both vying for outgoing Senator Smith's seat. If you're headed to the Twins game against the Dodgers on Monday, the company that runs the concession stands is assuring fans it will be business as usual, despite a planned strike by those booth workers.
Delaware North officials say there will be no disruption to concessions operations, and booths will be staffed with temporary workers, recent hires, nonprofit partners, managers, and other staff. In a statement, Delaware North says it continues to engage in contract negotiations with union members, and the company remains committed to reaching a fair agreement. The next bargaining session is scheduled for Tuesday, June 23rd, and a federal mediator has been requested to assist the process. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Lots going on in the Twin Cities and other parts of the state this weekend, including Grandma's Marathon in Duluth, one of the biggest weekends of the year for the state and that region for sure. It's expected to have a $40 million economic impact.
To have that be an economic impact on a weekend where, were it not for the marathon, there would be nothing happening, because June in Duluth is either 40 degrees or it's 70 degrees. Like, there's no middle ground there.
That's Duluth Area Chamber of Commerce President Matt Baumgartner. WCCO News Time is 5:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crush is working on 494 both directions. The area of Penn Avenue, look for the right lane to be affected, and traffic is jammed up in both directions as a result. East 36 near Hamlin, crash off to the right side. Stormy weather causing slowdowns for West 94. Get ready for it as move past 169 all the way up into 101 in Rogers. 252 seeing the heavy stuff along with 610 in that northwest corner of the metro. Make sure you're buckled up and the headlights are on. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Oh no, the lights are flickering, the drain is backing up, the water heater just went cold. When home problems interrupt your day, call Randy's Electric and Plumbing. Same-day repairs, licensed pros, and clear pricing before work begins. For those oh-no moments, call Randy's Electric and Plumbing.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Randy's Electric. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The showers and isolated thunderstorms will move out. The sky will clear out tonight as we fall back to 55. So another cool start tomorrow morning, but a wonderful finish. Mostly sunny with a high of 75. Father's Day looks great as well. Partly cloudy, up around 75. We should match that on Monday. Our next best chance of rain will be on Tuesday.
And just a reminder, we are under a severe thunderstorm warning for most of the Twin Cities metro until 5:30. This does involve some hail. Also, that tornado warning for northern Chisago County in east central Minnesota, as well as northwestern Polk County in northwestern Wisconsin. Again, that until 5:30 p.m. I'm Laura Oakes, News Talk 830 WCCO.
News that leads to conversations. Conversations that matter. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha, fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
All right, Jason with you. Drive Time with DeRusha wants to keep you safe as a storm is moving through the North Metro. And so we're just going to stay with this. I'd love your input if you want to call in or share what sort of storms are coming through your area. Hail in Maple Grove has been a part of the equation right now. As I look at live radar, we are in a severe thunderstorm warning. We typically go into full weather coverage when you have a warning in the metro area. And this severe thunderstorm, we're looking at, the Weather Service says there's about 1.5 million people in this swath that is under the warning for the next 22 minutes. As I look at radar right now, the biggest cell of activity is in the Maple Grove, Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, Crystal area. And downtown Minneapolis is still dry right now, but it's coming within the next couple of minutes. 394 is mostly the southern dividing line of this. So if you are north of 394 and south of, say, 610 or Highway 10 in the Coon Rapids, Anoka area, that is kind of the rectangle, I guess, that I would describe where the radar is indicating the heaviest rain is coming through. Now, heavy rain is one thing, but it's the hail that we're concerned about. And one texter saying pea-size hail just a moment ago at 610 and Broadway and Brooklyn Park, and torrential rain as well. So that 610 and Broadway area, there are a lot of soccer fields up there. It's sort of, there's like a Cub Foods in that part of the Twin Cities, just past the Target kind of secondary corporate headquarters up in the Brooklyn Park area. Luckily, at this point of the day, this point of the week being a Friday, you do have, fewer people on the roads. People work remotely on Fridays. Today is Juneteenth, so it's a holiday. So a lot of people have the day off. So that's, that's part of the deal as well. But looking at traffic, and JP is watching it, as I look at the traffic situation, you can tell right where the heaviest storms are. I mean, traffic has come to an almost standstill in the Fridley, Columbia Heights, Brooklyn Center, that 694 corridor in the North Metro. That is where the storm is really isolated. So the traffic story often ends up lining up quite nicely with the weather story. We are in that severe thunderstorm warning right now. The cell the heaviest rain was smaller and isolated over Maple Grove. We are seeing the rain moving through, but the heavy stuff is staying in the Maple Grove, Osseo, Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, heading into Fridley. So that is definitely where you're seeing most of the activity. And you're welcome to weigh in with what you're seeing at 651-461-9226. But a severe thunderstorm warning, typically what the advice in that situation is, if you can avoid being on the roads, you should. If you're on the roads, obviously nobody's getting out of their car when hail is coming down, but just to be aware of it and be prepared for it. 60-mile-an-hour winds is what the Weather Service is saying they're seeing out there. And so it's some heavy stuff, some heavy hail. I'm sure all the roofing contractors will be out at full force over the weekend. with that hail coming through, it is one of the things, Dan, that when they talk about insurance costs in Minnesota, one of the reasons we've seen home insurance stuff going through the roof is because of hail and the hail we've had. Now, a texter saying that the sun is shining on Maple Grove now, and the sun is sort of reflecting off the shingles highlighted by the Dippin' Dot size hail. Enjoy the night, said the texter. So it is moving through pretty quickly.
And like even again downtown Minneapolis, we just had
Still nothing, Dan?
Well, it's a little cloudy now, but
okay,
like the sun is. But 5 minutes ago, the sun was shining. So it's like I said, it's that one isolated cell that's moving through the metro area, and if you're not within maybe a 10 or 12 mile radius, you're not feeling it. So
now we've got heavy. We have heavier stuff that hasn't been warned to the north of the metro. So I'm looking at some pretty strong rain just north of St. Cloud, some in sort of the Sherburne County, the National Wildlife Refuge, the Princeton area, Cambridge, North Branch, St. Croix Falls. So there is heavy rain to the north as well. But there's something to the wind in the immediate metro area that caused the Weather Service to pull the trigger on that severe thunderstorm warning. So that's where we're at, and that's why we're in this sort of continuous.
When you're talking about 60-mile-an-hour gusts, that's again, we haven't had a ton of water, so you're not necessarily super worried about trees, but like a 60-mile-an-hour gust, if you do have a tree that was teetering to begin with, that's enough to take it down. So. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. You talk about the hail. Caller mentioned obviously back to the 50s over at the fairgrounds. A lot of folks out there with classic cars that I want to be careful and seek some shelter if they can for those vehicles because it is headed in the St. Paul direction. But yeah, I mean it's just it's more. There are far more dangerous storms that we've had, but when you have a severe weather situation like this in the Twin Cities, especially in the metro area like this, you got to talk about it. So.
Another thing going on this weekend is the Woodstock Country Music Festival, and that is out in Winstead, Minnesota. That is out to the west quite a bit, and that's an outdoor country music festival for the next couple days. They look dry, so they're all right now. We do have rain out.
You're going to be at an outdoor music festival. I mean, some rain. It's kind
rain
of
is fine.
Maybe it's kind of a good deal.
Country. You get
a little mud for your boots.
Little mud. Get them boots on. I think that's a good time for everybody involved. Let's be honest. I don't know what's going. And the texter was concerned as a parent whose kid is at Woodstock. I got to be honest. Like a little heavy rain, I'd be worried about all sorts of other issues with my kid maybe camping out at Woodstock. The hormones in the air.
What are you talking about, Jason?
It's a situation that could easily end up being its own country music song. You
Now
just got to
you
be
mentioned
careful.
that there was some more strong storms kind of north. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Sherburne, Isanti, and Anoka County that has now been issued until 6 o'clock. Sherburne, Isanti, and Anoka County. That's until 6 o'clock. There's reports of 1-inch hail and or 60-mile-an-hour winds. That's a possibility. So
All right. Very good. I was wondering when that was going to pop, looking at some of the radar. It's some big stuff. Yeah. And it is one of those deals where, as Dan indicated, what we're talking about is hail. And the winds are legit. It's nothing to sort of sneeze at. But Todd Nelson on X just posted some video, and Todd's a kind of a weather chaser. I'm sharing this on our live stream. If you're watching on my X account or on YouTube or on Facebook, Todd's got a big handful of what looks like it's my favorite kind of ice. It's what I really want for Father's Day, that pellet ice maker. Todd's got a big handful of pellet ice that just went through the Hanover and Corcoran area, and looking at Todd's pictures of the roads in that area, it's that definite look of a snowstorm. It looks like snow, but you look a little closer and it is hail. So some great pictures, and give T Nelson WX, give Todd a follow. He's a meteorologist out there chasing the storm. So give him a follow as a thank you for those great pictures. Lots of text coming in as well. Pete, a marble-sized hail in Brooklyn Park to the north of the Crystal Airport. So we're just watching all of this as it works its way through the Twin Cities. Severe thunderstorm warning for the next 13 minutes, and I wonder if that'll be extended. But right now, the center of the storm activity is really, well, let me check the live radar once again. It has indeed, as the texter said, moved out of Maple Grove, but the live radar showing Brooklyn Park, Fridley, New Brighton, Shoreview. Next up is probably Little Canada, Maplewood. The core of Minneapolis and St. Paul is really getting the bottom edge of this. And radar is showing, Dan, that there is some rain in downtown Minneapolis finally. But it's nothing that looks really big, right? Yeah. Looking outside in downtown Minneapolis, not a huge amount of rain, but that rain has showed up. Let's break. It's 5:18. We're in continuing severe weather coverage, severe thunderstorm warning in effect in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Brooklyn Park, Maplewood, South St. Paul, in effect for the next 12 minutes or so. And then we have another severe thunderstorm warning just to the north. We're here for you. It's what we do. And share your reports as well at 651-461-9226.
To Russia, tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this summer, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through August 1st and save up to 25% off custom printed banners. Staples, that was easy.
Summer is here and you need more room for your kids or grandkids and all their stuff. It's Jason to Russia for Luther Kia of Bloomington. We're in the middle of the summer sticker sales event. 0% on all Sportages and Sorrentos. Specially marked vehicles at $750 bonus cash too. Best cars for the money on the market. It's not just me saying it. It's U.S. News and World Report. Check out their brand new facility. Luther Kia of Bloomington now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Every week on the Moth Podcast, you'll hear true stories that will intrigue you, inspire you, and make you laugh.
He said, is there anything in your diet that might be spiking your blood sugar? I said, sometimes I eat pizza until I'm unconscious. He said, I think that might be it.
For real stories live on stage from comedians, astronauts, accountants, farmers, and people just like you, follow and listen to The Moth wherever you get your podcasts.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call.
I think we probably can do Dan, right?
Accomplishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about legal tax defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax
I guess we
debt.
sort of
Call
have to
legal
see what
tax
they
defense
do.
right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284.
And you just interrupt if you see it
You
before
have
me.
nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
It's so bold. It's adventurous. It's edgy.
is.
You know, it's
risky.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Two severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now. We're watching the main severe thunderstorm warning for the next 8 minutes as the storm in the North Metro is moving through. It's looking at live radar right now. It does look like the crux of the activity is in the Fridley area, headed towards Vadnais Heights and Maplewood. So starting to move into St. Paul and the eastern suburbs. That warning started with some hail in Maple Grove and Corcoran and Brooklyn Park, and that warning is set to expire in about 7 minutes at 5:30. But just within the last couple of minutes, another severe thunderstorm warning was issued, and this just to the north of Elk River. So this is Zimmerman, Now Then. Santiago is a small little town. Princeton is a small little town. So that's sort of the zone we're looking at. St. Francis, just north of Ramsey and Champlain and Elk River. So just to the north, about 30,000 people live in that area. That severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 6 o'clock. Your reports always welcome at 651-461-9226. This is really the first time in quite a long time, Dan, that we've had severe weather moving through the Twin Cities during this sort of drive time period. But I'm grateful that at least today, it is Juneteenth. It is a holiday. And it's also Friday late, where a lot of people who will be headed up north, especially that corridor where Maple Grove, where 94 splits off. Yeah, like that's such a heavily traveled area.
Right.
And so
that area at this point is in the clear, but yeah, I mean, it would have been a nightmare. You know, I'm downtown Minneapolis, and you know where it's not hit. That storm is not hitting right now. Just up the road from me in downtown Minneapolis is one of our favorite spots, the Minneapolis Club.
Oh,
is in the free and clear right now.
No rain down there. Radar shows a little bit, but it might not be hitting the ground. So that's good news. I was just over there last night. One of the servers at Charlie, Kate. She is awesome. Kate has her art on display in the Minneapolis Club. So you don't have to be a member. Anybody can come to Charlie's for dinner. And then ask Kate if you can go see her art at the hall, down the hall. It's a really cool building. So that was nice. Minneapolis Club last night. Severe thunderstorm warning. National Weather Service issued this. Oh, Dan, this was a little bit before what it was like 4:45.
Yeah, it was in that neighborhood, sure.
And so we're keeping an eye on this. So far, I have not seen them extend it. So I was wondering, are they going to extend this? Since looking at the live radar, the East Metro, the Ramsey, the Maplewood, the Invergrove Heights, the South St. Paul area. But it looks like the storm is mostly staying to the north of 394. There is another rain cell that has popped up in Bloomington, Eaton, Apple Valley, Burnsville area. So you might be seeing some rain, but it's just heavy rain, nothing severe in the southwest metro. At this point, the other severe weather is just to the north of Elk River. And looking at the radar from the Weather Service, it's nasty look. If you're in Sherburne County, if you're north of Forest Lake, there are all sorts of angry red and yellow on the radar map. So just be aware of that tonight. It's really about being aware. This is so far the only tornado warning we had was Kennebec County. So we're really looking at heavy winds and strong hail. Nothing really tornadic in the metro area. at this point. Rosedale Mall is starting to see it. So we are getting that west to east movement, heavy rain and nickel to quarter size hail, says a texter, in Roseville at Rosedale Mall. So, if the kids are going to see a movie tonight, the track record of this is this stuff is out of here once it hits about 20 to 25 minutes later. So it's not just setting up shop and camping, but we have seen this storm moving through the Twin Cities. It's been about 45 minutes since the heaviest stuff moved into the Corcoran Maple Grove area, but we are seeing it now kind of right about where 35W and 694, that's sort of the main area. I bet Stillwater might be next. This storm is mostly moving directly to the east. I think the original guess was that maybe the heaviest stuff would move a little bit towards the southeast, towards Woodbury, but so far 94 and 394 seem to be the dividing line on this. Just a reminder, we're in continuing breaking severe weather coverage here on CCO Radio. That severe thunderstorm warning that covered almost all of the Minneapolis and St. Paul and the suburbs to the north is set to expire at 5:30. And I'm checking the Weather Service updates just to see if they've extended it. And so far they have not. So if that stays the course, we're going to move forward in the show. So I want to break right now, and then we'll have another weather and a traffic update for you in just minutes. And then Dan Hayes, we'll talk Twins baseball. Big news from Byron Buxton, an interview that Byron Buxton did just yesterday. So we'll talk to Dan Hayes about that. Keep those weather reports coming in. 394 Hopkins Crossroad texter saying nothing, not even a drop of rain. So there's some sort of umbrella force field right at 394 that's sort of keeping all of the heavy stuff to the north of there. And if you're south, you're mostly dry.
Hey, Jason, we were just talking about this actually being extended. And now we do have from the National Weather Service a severe thunderstorm warning that includes St. Paul and Woodbury. So the eastern portion of this box has been extended. Now that's till 6:15.
Got it. All right. So another 45 minutes of a severe thunderstorm warning. St. Paul, Woodbury, Maplewood, and this extends out to Hudson and Afton. So that is that trajectory that we've been watching on radar as this moves through, watching it move out towards, across the river into Wisconsin. And that is how this deal is moving, up to 50-mile-an-hour wind. The biggest hail we've really seen has been quarter size, but it's not fun if you're standing out in it. It's not fun if you have an old shed in your backyard, that's for sure. Let's break. We'll reset. We'll get the latest from the roads, the latest traffic, but that severe thunderstorm, not surprisingly, extended until 6:15, but we're talking now St. Paul, Woodbury, Maplewood. You are in the middle of this until 6:15. We are your severe weather leaders. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Apple debuted its long-awaited voice bot refresh with Siri AI, getting all sorts of new features and abilities, including visual intelligence, in which a user can point their camera at a plate of food and receive nutrition information from Siri, or even figure out how to split the bill at a restaurant. Apple also says Siri's voice can be updated or have its language changed once other languages become available. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
All right, Jason here for our friends at the Minnesota Pork Board. 3,000 family farmers every corner of this state working so hard to bring you the lean, high protein, delicious Minnesota pork. Now, this weekend, it's Father's Day, and I'll tell you what I hope I get. I hope I get just a nice pack of pork shoulder, a couple of bone-in pork chops. How about some ground pork? Dads want to grill. It's just what I want to do on Father's Day. I'm not going to lie. But if you missed it, anytime is a good time to get to your butcher shop or get to your grocery store. That's for sure. Maybe you need recipe inspiration. Oh, so many great ideas at tastewhatporkcando.com. But feel good about going to the grocery store and the butcher shop, and feel great about supporting all of our amazing Minnesota farmers. Let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
So when do you need to start thinking about a will? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What is a living trust, and do you need this? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What about a power of attorney or probate? We'll get all the answers to your questions when you schedule a free attorney consultation at, gutmanlaw.com. It's Jordana, and I didn't know the first thing about wills, living trusts, estate planning, but I didn't need to. All I did was reach out to my friend Matt Gutman and his partner Jamie Reth Wagner. This is their focus: wills, trust, probate, estate plans. Now knowing that my loved ones will be taken care of no matter what helps me sleep at night. Don't wait until it's too late to get these things taken care of. You can schedule a free, no-hassle consultation right on the website. Say it with me, gutmanlaw.com. Gutmanlaw.com, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow. It's not just a slogan. I sleep better at night now that I have my estate plan in place. Thanks to Matt Gutman and Jamie.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Seeing those slowdowns on the north side of the metro with the stormy weather moving through. 694 is pretty much congested between 252 and over to Lexington Avenue, 610 and 252. Seeing some slowing as well, and 10 westbound into Anoka. 35E northbound slows as moved between Maryland Avenue and Highway 36. West 94 still jammed up Carmichael Road to the St. Croix River Bridge. Save on premium protein at Whole Foods Market. Prime members get 20% off boneless beef, ribeye, and steaks through June 23rd. As always, there are no antibiotics ever. While supplies last, shop in store online. Terms apply. Jerry Peterson, New Talk ATO, WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, our forecast is this severe weather situation, pouring rain in Oakdale right now, severe thunderstorm warning that includes St. Paul, Woodbury, North St. Paul, Maplewood, Roseville, Hudson, Afton. That quadrant is under a severe thunderstorm warning for the next 40 minutes until 6:15 or so. We've seen some decent quarter-sized hail from this system as it moved from Corcoran and Maple Grove. There is rain in other parts of the metro area, and we also have a severe thunderstorm warning, including Zimmerman, Nowden, and Santiago, Minnesota, until 6 o'clock. So 2 severe thunderstorm warnings we're watching. Be weather aware throughout the rest of the night for sure, but when that weather moves out tomorrow and Sunday, look fantastic. 74 tomorrow, 76 on Sunday. A little sunnier Saturday than Sunday, but who's complaining here on CCO?
Drive Time with DeRusha, where the conversation's always in drive. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, we are going to keep you up to date on this severe thunderstorm warning moving through the East Metro, the northeast suburbs in particular. So don't worry. If anything develops, we'll bring you the latest and keep those texts coming. Nothing better. I can look at radar, but you telling me what you're seeing is much better at 651-461-9226. I do want to talk Twins because hey, all of a sudden the Twins feel like the hottest team in baseball. You just never know with the ball club this year. And our friend Dan Hayes from The Athletic is with us at the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. All of a sudden the Twins look pretty good, Dan. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's like this. This is typically what 500 teams do, or teams that play around 500. They look great for like 3-4 days, then they look terrible for 3 or 4 days. And it's a annoying roller coaster, but you love when they have the runs like this, winning 5 of 6 in the offense. I mean, they went to Texas and played 3 great games. They
really
outscored them 25 to outscored them 25 to 7. Never trailed in the series. So
starting pitching was rock solid, and even those moments where you're like, okay, here's where the bullpen is gonna. Even when the bullpen would throw a bad pitch, they were only getting tagged for like a solo home run. It really was a nice effort around the full ball club.
I think the thing that really helped was the big leads early, and we saw 2 out RBIs. Josh Bell was like the killer in this series, man. He always he's from Dallas. He's from Arlington, like 10 minutes away from Globe Life Field, and he loves hitting at home. The home run, the 3-run homer the first night was his first ever homer at home, even though he hits like 400 there. And then he had two out RBI singles that were just backbreakers. And, this offense is so dangerous the way it's going right now. I think part of it's Royce Lewis coming back and just bringing, showing he's a threat again. Those guys love Royce Lewis. And when they know he's doing good, it picks everybody up. You throw that in there, and there's just so many collective guys performing well. Brooks Lee and
Cody Clemens, Brooks Lee,
Cody
both
Clemens
of them
having a great season. Josh Bell and Brooks Lee are basically hitting 100 points higher with runners in scoring position than their regular season numbers. Luke Keyshaw has a 397 on base percentage since May 2nd. He's getting on base at the bottom of the lineup and feeding the top. Trevor Larnach had a great series. He went like 8 for 14 in the series and raised his average to 24 points or 25 points. So, everybody, and obviously Byron, like at the middle of it all. It was a fun series, and it takes all the pressure in the world off the pitchers. They won that first game 4-2, and that was a tight game, and the bullpen had to be used. But then blowout on Tuesday and a blowout on Thursday with Joe Ryan. It was a nice little recipe for a sweep.
Now, we don't want to, I think you correctly pump the brakes a little bit. Like, we want to be on a good stretch. They're 6-4 over the last 10 games, but we're still a 40-loss team. We're in it in the American League Central, where the White Sox have sort of slowed their roll a little bit, but the White Sox and the Guardians are knotted at the top of the Central. And the Twins are only 4 games back. I mean, I don't know. This pitching staff doesn't give me the confidence necessarily to think like they're going to be in it, but it does give me enough uncertainty where I'm asking, are the Twins going to be buyers or sellers when it comes time for that decision? What's your take on that?
Yeah, look, the pitching staff shouldn't give you confidence right now. I think they've given up the 4th most runs in baseball. They're somewhere in that, that room, and that's not a great room to be in. But they are getting some guys back. I think we'll see Mick Abel on Sunday. He's thrown a bullpen today in Phoenix. And if he gets through this healthy, I think we could see him Sunday. That's a big pick-me-up. Bailey Ober expects to throw a bullpen while they're in Phoenix. That would be huge if he can get back soon. And the one thing that I like is that the bullpen between Yoendris Gomez, between Andrew Morris and Anthony Bonda has stabilized enough to where if the Twins have a lead after 7 innings, going into the 7th inning, you get the sense they can close it out. That's the key. The 6th inning is still, when they need that 6th inning guy and that 5th inning guy, it is a crapshoot because you have a Justin Lawrence who gave up like 6 straight hits and 3 of them were homers. And you have some rookies. You have Cody Larson and you have Travis Adams, younger guys who are not proven, and you don't know what you're going to get. Their inconsistency is a big part of it. That's growing up in the majors. They're probably 2 arms short on having a very stable bullpen. And I'm not saying like a league top one, but just one that gets you through games and closes out the 1-1s. The one thing I like, they acquired Yoendris Gomez on May 6th. Since then, they were 6-6 in 1-run games. Before that, they were 1-5. So they've made progress. They need more. This team needs more. I mean, if Eric Orsi is like your sixth best reliever, you would have a pretty good bullpen, and maybe they will if they can. The way I look at this is right now, if this offense can keep this up, and they're scoring 4.8 runs a game right now, if they can keep it up for another month, and the Twins are still in the wild card picture at the deadline, things get interesting, because I think Tom Pohlad really wants to come through on that promise to his players and to kind of excite fans again. And if they're even within a couple games at the wild card race around that time, nothing would surprise me.
Dan Hayes with The Athletic is with us. I want to update you on our severe weather situation. We are under a severe thunderstorm warning in the East Metro. And texters reporting Como Park just got quartered to golf ball size hail. And that is what we expect of this storm. And that's why we're in a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:15 tonight. Really looking at the St. Paul area, North St. Paul, Woodbury, and then ultimately getting to Hudson and Afton. So the West Metro, sun is out. You're in the clear. Minneapolis, you got nothing in downtown Minneapolis. But the East Metro, Oakdale, Afton, St. Paul, that's where we're keeping our eye on right now. Dan Hayes with The Athletics. Twins in action late game tonight as they're playing the Diamondbacks. You mentioned Byron Buxton. We talked a little bit about the trade deadline. There's plenty of time here, but the story of Byron Buxton just definitively saying, a guy who has his own ability to say whether he will greenlight a trade. He declared again that I am a Twin. That was his quote. Talk me through that. What happened there?
Yeah, Look, I knew I've been monitoring this situation. I didn't want to be the first one to start the trade talk. I was going to let the national guys. I mean, it's been on our mind for a couple of weeks. Come on, it's the Twins, right? And
of course,
after last year,
Joe Ryan, Byron Buxton. We've all been thinking about it,
especially when they fell to 8 games below 500, which was their season worst. That was just a week ago here. So it's in your mind, but then the list started coming out, and Buster Olney from ESPN, who does a great job, came out with a list of the most tradable players, or the best players that could be on the market. And Byron Buxton was 2 and Joe Ryan was 4. And one thing one reason I like this Twins club a little bit is that they've just been consistent with the way they operate. Yes, they were very happy yesterday, but they didn't go out of hand. It wasn't over the top with the celebration. They just like when they lose, they're not super down. It's not like devastation. I feel like they're very
professional. There's a professionalness to it. Yeah.
And they like each other. This is a team that really likes each other. And so I just went up to Byron basically before the game on Thursday and said, hey, look, how do you this doesn't feel like a 36 and 40 club to me, or 35 and 40 club. He's like, no, it's good. He's like, I was like, do you like the vibes in here? And he said, they're good. They're great. They're wonderful. And he's like, when you have guys picking each other up, he said, basically, it's just a good atmosphere. And he said, there's a lot of positives in here. And so he liked it. And I said, well, look, I know it's 45 days away, but you guys know these trade lists are coming. And one came out yesterday and you were number 2. And he said, I don't give a Frankfurter about trade rumors. And it wasn't as long as Frankfurter, but some similar letters in there. But he then said, I control my own destiny, essentially. And he said, I haven't said anything about leaving. I won't. And I'm a Twin. He said, the only way that it would change is if they come and tell me something different, which I interpret to, if the Twins tell him we're tearing down, if we're trading Joe, we're trading, everything, that might change his mind. But I think he thinks as long as they are looking ahead versus back, that he's committed. He loves it here, and he loves, he wants to do it here. And look, when you see the team and you like the team like this, and you can tell he is in charge, and they are running on Byron. I can understand why he wants to keep it going.
And do you ever think about the fact, and I think about the NBA, and the way that players in the NBA love to talk about going somewhere else, right? They love to talk about, using that leverage. I could go anywhere. I'm happy here, but I'd be happy. There's always that sort of vibe. How different would this Twins organization feel if you had Byron with a maybe more aloof or a less definitive sort of style from him on this? You just think, man, if you're the Twins, you have to be so grateful the way that Byron's playing this.
I mean, you're talking about somebody that's going to end up being one of their top 5 position players or top 7 position players of all time. But just talent-wise, probably one of the top 2 or 3 that they've ever had. And now we're getting to finally see it. We always were hoping that what would happen if Byron Buxton was healthy, right? Waited for years. And finally, we've gotten to see it a little bit these last 2+ years. And he's doing it. And I think he appreciates the organization and the fans for being patient, because he was always frustrated and sad about not being on the field. And I think that all plays into this. And he saw the success 2 years ago, or it's now 2.5 years ago, with the playoff wins. And I think he wants to replicate it. I think he wants to get back there with this place. And they need pitching. Let's be honest. They need pitching.
Yeah.
They need more. They're getting some back. That's good. Maybe Kendra Rojas can come in and fill in this bullpen too and help things out. But if they can get that, I mean, who knows where it goes? This offense is fun, and he is at the middle of it all and enjoying it. And I mean, man, he is it's just so fun to see him in a good mood and enjoying what he can do and bringing it to everybody, because he's always known he's possessed this and he's been able to show it.
Dan, I appreciate you. Thanks for taking the time on this Friday, and really good stuff. Make sure you read Dan's work. Terrific, as always, at The Athletic. You can subscribe on the app. You can go to the New York Times. I subscribe the whole bit. So I get the New York Times, The Athletic, and the Wordle. 5 years of Wordle.
And spelling bee, man. Wordle and spelling bee are the best.
I like the new MIDI, the mid-size crossword puzzle.
Yes,
I'm a fan of that
I
as
do
well.
too.
The full crossword puzzle, I'm too dumb for that. I can't
Hey,
do
Monday, somebody told me this, Monday and Tuesdays, and I've actually gotten a few Monday and Tuesdays completed with so those are the easy ones. It gets harder as the week goes.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. We'll break and come back and reset and let you know what's going on with the severe thunderstorm warning. Most of the East Metro is getting it now. St. Paul, Woodbury, and headed towards Wisconsin. More on that when we come back.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason here for my friends at Luther Kia of Bloomington. I would love for you to go to my Instagram page or my Facebook page. I have posted a video tour of the brand new gleaming Luther Kia of Bloomington facility. And it's a new building, right? Like, it's a car dealer. What do you care about the new building? Well, the benefit of this awesome new building is that you are going to get incredible service. The service is through the roof, and that is the major benefit of the new Luther Kia of Bloomington. So all the new stores, you want hybrids, they've got them. You want sign and drive deals on leases, they've got those. You want 0% financing, they have that available on a number of the vehicles in the store. And this summer, right now, they've got $750 off on a number of vehicles too. What I was happy about is the new service center has state-of-the-art technology. And it's so dang nice. You look at this, you're like, man, if I were a service tech, I'll tell you where I would want to work. So nice. And for you, it means if you need an oil change, you should go to Luther Kia Bloomington. Don't go to one of those. Go to the dealer. Go see Dan Dingman, his awesome team. Check him out right where 35W and 494 come together. You can check out the inventory on the lot right now at LutherKiaofBloomington.com.
Here's a World Soccer Championship preview.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's. And by the first ever Infiniti QX65. Control of Group E is on the line in Toronto as Germany faces the Ivory Coast. Germany exploded for 7 goals in their opening match against Curacao. This will be a much tougher test against an Ivory Coast side that scratched out a win over Ecuador in their first match. I'm Mike Conti.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
You know that feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off? We've all been there. Jordana here. That's where CBN comes in. CBN, short for cannabinol, is a naturally occurring hemp cannabinoid known for its relaxing, sleepy effects. Think of it like the lights dimming signal for your brain. While CBD helps you stay calm, CBN helps your body know it's time to rest. That's why we call it CB Night Night. Mini Leaf Night and Night Plus Sleep Gummies combine CBN, CBD, and CBG to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Go to minileaf.com, MINNELEAF.com, minileaf.com, the home of Minnesota's best legal products. And tell them Jordana sent you.
You know the feeling. It's 2 a.m. You're awake, running the numbers in your head. Payroll's coming. A client hasn't paid. Costs just went up. And you're thinking, how am I going to make this work? That's where LendSeek comes in.
That was me. I had payroll in 3 days and money tied up in receivables. I couldn't wait weeks for a bank. I went to LendSeek, and within minutes, I saw real funding options. They were clear, upfront, no games. By the next day, the money was in my account. Payroll went out, crisis over.
LendSeek uses AI to match your business with the right funding, up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours.
With LendSeek, it's not just funding, it's knowing you're covered when things get tight.
If you've been in business for at least 1 year with at least $500,000 annual revenue, apply today. No upfront costs, no prepaid penalties, because in business, waiting isn't an option. Start ready, stay ready with LendSeek. Apply at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Watching the slowdowns along 694, yes, make way between Silver Lake Road and 252. Also slowing west 94, 169, heading up to Highway 101. If you're on the east side of the metro, get ready for your slowdowns there. North 35E, Maryland Avenue, heading up to Little Canada Road, and west 94 is still jammed up to Hudson, Wisconsin. Make way toward Carmichael Road and the St. Croix River Bridge. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Severe thunderstorm warning in effect. St. Paul, Woodbury, Maplewood, live radar showing the storm really moving out of St. Paul and moving into the Woodbury area. Some heavy rain to the south of there as well in the Port Douglas, Prescott, Hastings area. This will move out later tonight, and not to leave out the Elk River, Ramsey, Sherburne, Forest Lake area. You've got heavy rain up there as well. Tomorrow is going to be great. 76, partly sunny. Father's Day looks good too. 74 and partly cloudy on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha.
He creates a narrative that is advantageous to him. And frankly, at times it's disturbing.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, so we've been in this severe weather coverage throughout much of our afternoon. One texter telling us I'm caught on 494, 694, right past Woodbury. Marble-size hail. We're in a complete stop underneath the bridge. It's completely packed. Nobody is moving. And that has been an issue for sure. And the traffic map, and JP has been keeping us up to date in such a great way. The traffic map really tells you where the trouble spots are. 36 near Roseville. That is very slow. And then just past Maplewood. So if you're taking that 94, if you're going to Hudson, it is slow. Now, 94 is always slow on the bridge where it's down to one lane on the way back, Hudson into Minnesota. But the storm is moving out in that direction as well. So severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 6:15. It covers Hudson and Lakeland Shores and Afton and Bayport and that part of the Twin Cities just shy of River Falls. So Henry will keep you up to date. Henry's going to be thrilled, don't you think? Giving you radar updates.
Oh, yeah, that's his jam.
The texts are so helpful because we can see the radar. I know Chad always gives a hard time about the text. I love the text because the radar only tells part of the story. You guys could tell us exactly what it feels like out in it. So we appreciate that. Thank you for your help as we cover the weather story. And love to all the fathers right now. Father's Day. Typical, Dan. If this were pre-Mother's Day, there would be no severe weather. It'd be nonstop calls about how awesome everybody's mom is. And instead, what do dads get? Bupkis. Well, actually,
No,
dads
dads get to go
gift.
outside and watch the storm, which is exactly
That's
what they
right.
wanted.
I was going to say, dads like talking about the weather. What a gift. What a gift from that perspective. So shout out to all the dads. Let's get another Twins win later tonight. You can watch the storm and then listen to the Twins right here on CCO. Pretty good
I'm
night.
Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing.